I agree.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. It is Wednesday, and I want to welcome everybody to the House of Sewing. It is another beautiful day. It was 87 degrees here in Southern California.
Shut.
Shalom. Shalom. How are you doing?
I'm getting by in 47. Thank you.
Tammy, how's it going?
That is almost a loaded question tonight, but I am here. I'm about to play with some batik, so I'll be a lot happier in about 30 minutes.
Yay! Petting fabric. I love it.
Yes.
That is what I'm doing.
I need to pet fabric.
Yo-yos.
Twinny McTwin. How are you this evening?
Wow, how many times are you going to say twin today?
You want to ask him that?
Oh, everything's going great.
Let's not count.
No, we're not going to. We're not going to. Everything's going great. I'm here. I'm not tired, so we're good.
Hello, Joydy, and hello, Alibaba.
Are you having a good day?
Hi, Allie. Hi, Rita. Yes, petting fabric.
Hello.
William, are you having a good day?
It's always, you know what? Even if I was having a bad day, I wouldn't tell you. So it's always a good day here in the House of Sewing.
That's a cheating method.
Whatever.
No, I'm telling you, I have this weird office-based mentality of like whatever, and it's changed my life. And I didn't have a bad day. In no way, shape, or form. I've actually had I don't know. It's just an indifferent day. I do the same thing: wash, rinse, repeat.
So it's like Groundhog on Wednesday.
I love that. I think the whole thing about Punxsutawney Phil is kind of weird. I love that Bill Murray movie. Yes. I love that movie. Hey, Christy, how's it going? Hello.
Hi, Christy. Yay. Welcome in so early, girl.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're all wonderful.
Oh, hi, Ollie. How are you doing?
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull it up on my camera, and I will put my pantaloons on in a minute. But I had a bit. I don't know.
Oh, I'm excited.
I don't know if it's a failure, but it's kind of a failure.
Anything starts off with kind of a failure.
Like your spin on things.
But sewing failures can also be fixed.
Yay! So. Hello, so Terry. Hello. Oh, hold on. No? Let's see. Oh, that's me walking back to the camera. Hello, so Terry. Great to see you. Hello, Joydy. This is total behind the scenes. But my pantaloons, they were just kind of wrinkled.
One day you're going to have to make a blooper video.
I'm putting this in my video. This is going to go in my video. I'm shameless like that.
Your cape's in the way, so I can't really see. You're going to have to try them on.
Yeah.
You're going to have to put them on.
Yeah, you're going to have to
Let's try the hallway shot.
Hi, Mona. Hi, Terry.
Yay. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Mona.
I'm just not impressed. If you don't see a short from me, I was like, oh no. Hold on. I don't know. I found it. Well, I don't know if you're gonna hear it. I gave my son a hard time because I found a bunch of laundry, and I was like, come on, you're hiding laundry.
Don't all teenagers do that?
Yeah.
Come on, Shablam. Hit me up with teenagers. Tammy, teenagers.
Yeah. Oh my God. Don't even get me started on
laundry. I had my parent moment of come on.
Yes.
Oh, yay. Hello, everybody. Miss Seam Ripper. Great to see you.
That's Mona.
Oh, hi, Mona.
That's Mona.
Yeah, that's Mona.
Hey, hello.
I have to tell you, William, that in some of those shots, your cape is billowing like a villain. Like you're just chilling like a villain in that.
I love my tweed capes. They do make me look like I'm coming to pick up the rent. Like I'm about to kick the Cratchit family out on Christmas.
You're right, Scrooge.
He is a Scrooge if he's gonna kick the Cratchit or the Cratchits out on Christmas.
All right, I'll put it.
He's
They're
definitely
literally right here. And you know what's even more sad is I put on my orange suit and it doesn't close in the front anymore.
Hey, I got a jacket like that.
What's that?
That's okay. I've got a jacket like that.
What
Yeah,
size
I didn't hear
seams?
you,
okay.
Tammy.
What size seams do you use? I mean, you can let out the seams, couldn't you?
I've grown. And you know what the thing is? I could tell you the exact date I made that because I made a short. So it was probably like almost a year ago. Like, because I think it was either it was like a year ago when I made the complete tweed suit.
So could we just add a panel somewhere? Does that work? I don't know.
No, oh gosh, never mind. I was about to say that thing that people say.
I don't make
No,
clothes.
I was gonna say something that people say, but I'm not gonna say it.
No.
Can you use like frog closures? Would that step it up?
I'll
on
show
the
you.
works department, and would it still close at that point?
Let me go grab it. I have
Okay.
Oh.
Thanks, Mona.
Oh.
That's when I
Wait,
pulled
Mona
up.
has the Mona Ice Cream, the Seam Ripper. Actually, I think she just changes her name.
It's
right.
different devices.
Different devices.
Yeah,
So
it's the
she's
different
Seam
devices.
Ripper, she likes ice cream, and Mona did what? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's her bot, isn't it? The bot account.
Yeah, that's the bot
Yeah.
too. Yeah, you're right.
So
Talk about my channel.
I have seriously, I'm not even mourning this suit. I've got so many miles out of this. This is not even funny. My
Look
cowboy
at the
hat on.
piping.
I look like
Oh.
I look like a 1970s used car salesman from Texas when I put this on. But it doesn't close in the front anymore.
Mona says you could add a stripe in the back, William.
There's a lot of things, but that's also why you should put 5/8 inch seams on tight fitting or close fitting garments.
You could do it. Cufflink style button.
It just doesn't close any. I'm okay.
Turn around. No, turn around.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
Oh yeah, no, the flap. It's gotta go.
But I'm kind of sad that my tweed suit doesn't close in the front.
Hi, Katie.
You know what? Eventually, I'm gonna snap, and my no buy for at least fabric is gonna disappear. So if I show up one day, I'm like, look at my new tweed suit. I officially just lost it and went up to the guy and was like, give me 50 yards. It's been a while. I'm making a tweed parachute.
How much tweed? You don't have that much tweed left?
You know what it is though. Your arm size are too large.
Yes. Well,
No, it's opposite to what a lot of people think. If you make the arm size smaller, the arms fit more. They fit better for movement because it's your movement that is impeding the size of your jacket. Like every time you pull your arms forward, look under your arms, you'll see the wrinkles.
I just remember when this fit.
Hi, Katie.
How's it going, Katie? Hello. So it was just, I had that moment today, and I think that with combination, and I'm about to put the pantaloons on. They just looked wrinkled to me, and I didn't have a meltdown, but I can't do this. I need more coffee. This is too much for me right now.
Well, where were they wrinkled? Were they wrinkled at the
Vietnamese?
It's so sad, but I truly just suck it in. So this is me in everyday life. I really was. Oh, see, I can't though. Oh,
So that's what we call an aspirational suit, right? Like those are the things that women keep around thinking, oh yeah, I'll lose 5 pounds.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I hang it up, and I could see it every single day. I'm like, "Am I gonna be
Yeah.
able to wear this today?" And then that Sunday morning, I put a nice shimmy it on. I'm like, "Nope, not today."
Yeah. No, I have a pair of jeans that I love and will never get rid of.
Yeah,
And I have fit them perfectly a few times, but that time is not now. And the amount of muffin top I get from those jeans is completely not okay.
yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
understand that.
Are
I
you
have a pair
comfortable
I
in
call
the
them my skinny
sleeves?
jeans, and I
I've
have
got-
them just in a spot. I'm like,
I've
"Okay, I can do it."
Sorry. To answer Terry's question, I've gained weight. So, and I can feel in this jacket everywhere where I've gained weight. It's here and right here. So
See,
It's in the place that it happens when you turn 40.
it's tighter. And this was a year ago. I was this skinny a year ago.
well,
I was
at least
big,
now
that
you
felt
have a
good.
benchmark. Now you have a benchmark.
Oh, some orange block. Hey, that's not a bad idea. I have a ton of tweed. I just don't have enough. It would be a patchwork jacket. And I'm thinking about making another Raggedy Doctor jacket just with bigger panels and like panels all over the place.
Yeah.
So, I just because I have a bunch, I have stacks of tweed, but it's just miscuts.
Do you have any more of that the trim?
Yes, but I had a good amount, but I messed it up making my pantaloons. Let me put them on.
Terry has a really good question for you, William. Or a really good comment. The comment is time to pass it down to Isaiah.
That's not a but he likes all of my Raiders and Kings clothes,
Mhm.
but he does not like my suits.
He's not there.
Yeah.
He's
And
not
he's
there.
not a
He
Yeah.
is missing
he'll
out.
rock like he likes my battle vest because like someone will walk up to him and be like, "Oh my gosh, like that jacket's amazing." So he likes that.
Yeah.
But he won't rock like anything I wear. And I was like the stuff I made 3 years ago, I was thin. I was literally 2 sizes smaller than I am now. So I can't fit in any of that. The jackets and stuff I've always made huge because a lot of the stuff that I made was beachwear.
Mm.
So
Okay.
it's made for lounging. And like one of the original ideas for my giant hood was because I was always at the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's not at that
that makes
teenage
sense.
stage when, standing out is a good thing. He's still he's still in the fitting in stage.
That's true.
And like even today, he wouldn't wear a certain hat. And I found an old like he left his Raiders hat at his mom's house. And I told him, like, here, I have this King's hat. I have all these hats. He's like, it's not black and white. I went and got an old King's hat. They don't even use that logo anymore. And he put it right on.
Mm.
And he'll
Yeah, Dad, it has to match.
I'm not particular like that. I'm okay with not matching.
Hey, did you know that teenage girls teach us that one? So the boys borrow it occasionally, but teenage girls teach us that one too. They teach us what does and does not match according to their
No, at the
standards.
moment, yeah.
And I made it
Oh my gosh.
so perfectly tight that when I did a squat, there was a bit of a
Oh. Hey Pam, how are you doing?
hey,
Hi, Pam.
hello. Yay, great to see you. Pam, great to see you. Can you get him to do a model shoot?
There you go.
I have absolutely.
We can put him in the plague
I
mess.
have no shame. I am one of those people, like, I have absolutely no shame. My son is a teenager. He has nothing but shame.
Everything matters when
Yeah,
you're a
he's still
teenager.
in that I have to fit in phase.
Oh,
And
yeah.
once he's comfortable with that, he will go. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But
Yeah.
You know, he just has not embraced his weird. That's all.
It'll come.
And I'll be there waiting for him with a cake
Yes,
and a
Welcome to my
quilt.
side.
Welcome
Yes.
to the dark side.
and a new suit.
And look at all of these outfits I have for you.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
We could
And you could match
dress
them, I
like old
guarantee.
can
timey
dress him for-
Victorian.
Okay, William, can we dress him for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, where he doesn't wear anything twice out of using your wardrobe?
You know what?
Yeah.
That's like I think you could go almost like a full year. At
Mhm.
least with my shirts.
Oh, that'd
And
be
I own an obscene amount of pants. But when I went up in pant size, like I panicked and bought a bunch of pants. So I have a terribly high stack of pants.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I was the same pant size for 20 something years. From the time I was in high school until my midlife crisis, 6
That
or
is
7 months ago.
no, exactly.
That is not
I know
fair.
it's not totally not fair, but that is men of a certain build
Right.
kind of thing. Because like the girl's dad was exactly the same. He did not go up in pant size since he stopped growing taller until he hit 42 or something like that.
But something happened. Something biological. Something.
Yeah,
Okay, let's see if I
42
don't
happened.
unplug my mic. I'm trying to not. Oh, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Hey, Sydney. Hello, hello.
Hi,
Oh, hi,
Sydney.
Sydney.
So I have the wrong socks on. I had my black socks on. I have the wrong socks. I have my.
It's okay.
I'm so glad I have clean socks. First off, the suit does not close, but they appeared way more wrinkled when I see every time I put my leg forward, they're wrinkled.
That's a fit
That's
issue.
because you moved.
That is just a fit issue that can be resolved.
And looking at myself, I truly look like a hobbit right now.
Okay, so if vertical stripes make you taller, so pantaloons make you look shorter.
I make
okay.
spans. Yes,
that what it
I
is?
make spans, and they make you look so short.
Yeah.
Like they make you look tiny.
I've seen your spans.
They're not like I like them. They're just not hitting like they should.
Yeah.
It's because they break up your legs and it breaks up the visual.
Well, don't
Yeah.
they fit tighter, Shalom? Are they supposed to fit tighter?
I think that the crotch is the wrong length, and I think if that is,
You know what? Sometimes I'll put them on wrong, and I'll put the front on, like. But sometimes I can't tell which was the front or the back.
you
Okay.
You need to start putting tags.
that means that your seams are if your seams aren't uneven enough between like the arch in your
The front and
crotch
back,
seams,
Yeah.
then
Hi, Dre.
no wonder because it's because you've got a butt and it kind of
It does push
Oh.
everything forward. I have turned into my uncle because really, well, my posture's terrible too. Just terrible.
Okay, for all the complaints that you're putting about
don't think
this
it was that bad.
outfit, William, I have to say the orange really does do you well. It looks good on you.
Thank you.
I like the orange.
Thank you.
Hi,
How's
Dre.
it going? Hello, hello. Welcome to my midlife crisis.
Is that what we're calling
tomorrow
this?
he's going out to buy a Corvette.
Is it going to be a
I
convertible?
would never do that. I would just turn my truck into Bigfoot. I would
Oh,
get
God.
those
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So that
tires where I needed a ladder to get into my truck.
so,
I had
so that's our midlife
I
crisis.
had
that we're
no
looking for.
idea
Okay,
you were
got it.
that guy. Oh my god.
When I was a kid, we used to go to Anaheim, and they still do it every year. Every year in I guess it's still called Angel Stadium, but they have motocross one week, and then it's the big trucks, and they still bring out Bigfoot every year.
That sounds like fun.
I loved watching Bigfoot on TV. I never got to go to any of those because it was too loud. Too many crowds for my dad.
Oh, actually, I don't know if I should sit down at this thing.
You know, those would make
Did you
great
see-
golf pants. You could go golfing in
Yes,
those.
they would.
With a sweater vest.
With a sweater, but I have quite a few. I have my grandfather's clothes. I actually have quite a few.
Oh,
And
your
I have
granddad's
one,
clothes.
like, we had the strangest clothes. One had an alligator on it. The other one, like, you know, they're supposed to be copying the old cheetah logo.
Yeah.
But it was always something off. I was going for pantaloons, but it was an utter and complete hemming failure. Not wide enough for culottes.
Yeah. I had to wear box pleat culottes for cheerleading because that was what my school did. They were super modest.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were pleated all the way around, so
Oh
you
my
supposedly could
gosh.
not tell that we had two legs. Like
Wow.
until the culottes ended like middle of the knee or below, you weren't supposed to tell that we had two legs.
Wow.
Wow.
They were a mess.
I mean, why didn't you just wear
You
spanks
cannot
or something
convince me
like,
we're cool.
you know, underneath?
Oh, I did, but they wouldn't let us wear anything shorter than middle of the knee or below. Yeah, it was when people say they want to go back and do their teenage years again, I am not one of
You
those
couldn't
people.
pay me. You couldn't. I would skip all. The only thing I would do is walk up to myself the first time I smoked a cigarette, and I would just be like, "Listen to my lungs. Don't smoke cigarettes, kid. You'll regret it. Don't." That's all I would do.
Yeah.
I would pass on secrets of how to get away with more.
Back to the Future.
'Cause,
That's Back
you
to the
know.
Future. You.
Yeah, you know.
I would have told you the names of people that I didn't need to be dating ever, and like just left it
Yeah.
at that. Just don't ever date anybody with this name. That would have saved me a lot of challenges, but then I wouldn't have learned
Okay,
so much.
you know what? I actually would come with a map. I would be like, "Don't go here. Avoid this town. This job didn't work. There's no such thing as blankety blank blank."
I would have gone, okay, you're an explorer type person. You need to go out west like soon. Don't wait until it happens to come fall in your
Yeah.
lap.
For the record, there's been quite a few things that I say that I don't have. I just can't remember. You should have seen Jess's face when I figured out what a the block wall or whatever it is. I was like, I have felt and an easel, and she was like, seriously, what don't you have in there?
Don't you have? And he climbs up on the chair and goes up in the rafters and just pulls out this metal like easel. I'm like, what else do you have up there? Like,
I'm ready. I'm ready. And the
I'm like,
funny
no
thing
wonder
is,
if there's an
don't wanna
earthquake,
know.
he needs to run. He has metal things that's going to fall down on him.
well, I actually have.
That's where he hides
There's
the
another
bodies.
easel up there that's actually a structural easel because my surfboard is running across it and it's just scraps. It's just scraps up there.
There was something we talked about that you didn't have because it was yellow. It's in my brain somewhere. It'll come out once in a while. But anyway, there's stuff that we talked about.
Are you yellow phobic?
I'll have to add that to the list. I still watch the Three
Yellow what? I
Stooges.
didn't catch that.
For the record, the Three Stooges still comes on television where I live, and Laurel and Hardy, and Charlie Chaplin, all of that stuff.
Buster Keaton was my favorite. I loved Buster Keaton.
You know, I don't know. Like the more I think about it, I don't know if I can go back. If I would either go way in the future or so far back in time just to prove historians wrong.
Oh.
If I could take like a picture of myself now doing the quilting thing and the YouTube thing and go back like 10 years, I would have started it then. Like I wouldn't have put it off this long.
Terry, I started around the same age, but I didn't quit until I was like 30 something years old. Don't smoke cigarettes, kids. Do not smoke. When I look back, I was a crazy kid. I was. We talk about that all the time because this younger generation, for as much as they're on the internet, for as much as they're up in each other's business, they're at home doing that.
Yeah.
We were outside, like face to face in each other's business.
Yeah, we were.
Getting in a lot of trouble. Real life consequence.
You just you put kids together and just automatically bad things happen. You know, it's like you know, there's Louis Anderson, he had a comedy bit and he said that one kid is a kid, two kids is half a kid, meaning like once you get two kids together, like there's a half a brain between you. And that is absolutely the way it is, you know. You just come up with really dumb things to do, and I came up with a lot of dumb things to do.
Me too.
Really dumb. Like we broke into the enclosure for all the school buses, and they had a digger in there, and someone knew how to start it and operate it, but we couldn't take it anywhere. It wouldn't drive anywhere, but it did. You know, they did pick up the bucket, and we put a chain on the end of it and grabbed onto the ends of the chains while they spun.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. At that same age, I had a good friend that did the same thing, and that's how he ended up on probation for the first time.
Yeah, you know, I think I would definitely have a criminal record if anybody ever caught me, but I just never got
like
caught.
Where I live, they had cameras everywhere, even in the 90s. But it was just more closed circuit, but like they had cameras everywhere.
Okay, let's just stop and appreciate what Ollie just said. Let us all just go back to our teenage moments in our minds and praise Ollie for that absolute amazing feat.
What kind was it? My it was an M4. Someone drives a Healy around here. We have a parade every year, so there's all kinds of like Model T cars in my area. All kinds of World War II tanks that are the size of SUVs. They're not what you think they are. They're not as big as you think they are. There was a guy in San Diego did that, and Mojo Nixon wrote a song about him. Oh, Jody, I am curious about the tank as well. I grew up in the on the west side of Los Angeles. If you've ever seen the show Saved by the Bell, I had a very similar experience like that. we had cheesy experiences during the school year, and then during the summer we'd all go to the beach because it's hot where I live.
So which character would you have been?
I was sometimes I was Zach Morris, and other times I was
Mario Lopez
because I could dance.
Yeah,
and I looked good in Karachi jeans. I could dance.
Called it.
And
Saved by the Bell was unrealistic for what high school actually ended up being for me.
High school was terrible. I just made lifelong friends that made it bearable. But like high school was terrible. I'm not in no way, shape, or form am I saying it was a great thing. But like, no, when I say Los Angeles, a lot of people think of the the city, the stereotype. And there are many different parts to Los Angeles.
Mhm.
So it's not all 90210? Holy
No.
cow.
That
Blowing
show
my
was
mind.
okay. That show was so unrealistic about high school. First of all, every single car that they were driving were like hundreds of thousands of dollars, these classic vehicles. Nobody had lives like that because we
Okay.
actually had parents that said, "Where you going?" We weren't allowed to leave the house like that and be
Yeah.
feral.
I have a question. I have one question. Didn't you say that driving past the schools, like all these kids are driving Teslas and these, crazy expensive cars? So now it is 90210. It wasn't when we were growing up, but now
My town went from like a small town, then they put in an amusement park, and it still was a small town, but then Disney put a ranch and the movie industry moved in.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
And it's more like ex-sports stars, but people move here. It's weird. A lot of newscasters.
I'm just giving you a hard time, you know that,
No,
right?
but there's this guy that was a newscaster, and I don't know if he's still on Channel 5 or not, but I saw him at Walmart one day and I was covered in paint back when I miss being a painter. And long story short, he looked me up and down and gave me a weird look. I saw him in Chuck E. Cheese and I was like, "Why'd you give me a hard time?" He was the coolest guy. He laughed. We had a good old time. He was a real dude though.
Yeah.
But a lot of people
Yeah.
a lot of people have turned my town into 90210. But the funny thing is our mall has disappeared. So for all the money here, they're not pumping it into like the things that used to make this town what it was.
Mhm.
True.
And they built this wannabe pavilion over by the amusement park. Utter and complete disaster. It's 2 miles of closed shops that no one ever moved into.
Oh, sad.
Well, they may have been charging too much for rent to be able to move in. That's what a lot of the malls that are like failing now are, is the landlords have raised the rent, pricing out the stores, so nobody can afford to even move in anywhere.
Even in the fashion district, I would talk to people, become friends with people. I don't know how they paid their rent, because even the high end stuff, even if it was 12 or 15 bucks a yard, I didn't see I didn't see the amount of people walking around that would pay rent for as much money as they had to pay.
And since COVID, there's just not as much foot traffic going on at
Yeah.
all anywhere.
And also, it's in the heart of downtown, and that area gets revitalized, and it goes crummy. It gets revitalized, and
Gentrified.
what put a nail in this last one is someone my age got jumped by like 60 kids,
Oh.
children, literally teenagers, and so people like me stopped going down there.
Well, everybody shops online now, so
I miss Modelo, man. I just want, like, the man literally snorted and clapped, and no one reacts like that when they see me. The man was like, and like no one ever reacted like that when they see me. He loved me.
well, it's only a couple days to the weekend. You can just go visit him.
Ugh,
We'll bring him a muffin.
maybe one day. I need a muffin. I've been eating a
are
lot
a
of
muffin.
muffins lately. Yeah, the muffin's right here where my jacket doesn't fit anymore.
Just like my jeans. Yeah.
Malls are closing everywhere, and it's just sad. I hated high school as well, Joy. It's just sad because my mall was like a jewel. We even had a Big Lebowski store, which was overpriced. And if you bought something from there, you're a yuppie. But I'm just saying, like, my town, like, we were in a bunch of movies. My town, it was something special, and it's weird to see it utterly and completely empty. And you can still walk through malls like I do every time I go to State Line. There's a mall on State Line between Nevada and California, and Sandy Thrift, that store I go to, I think it's the only store there.
Wow.
I wonder what their rent is. And it's literally an empty mall. And I heard the guy telling somebody else they legally have to keep the doors open. So the air conditioning's on, and there's artwork. Like you can tell they hired somebody. So it's like a huge art exhibit, but it's just a utter and complete dead mall. And as somebody who was a mall rat as a kid, it's just sad to see. Are you kidding me? I would love just to wander through a mall, even though my kid would be like, I want that. I want 5 of these. I would love to have that experience again, but I just not around here.
Yeah. There's a really nice mall that's actually still open. It's doing really well here in Durham. So we go there once in a while.
I can totally see what Mona's saying, how because I'm one of those people that order online.
Yeah.
But there's a thriving mall. Is there a thriving mall near you, Tammy?
There's a mall. I would not call it thriving.
Yeah.
We have a Target. We have they're building a new place for Dick's Sporting Goods to move to, but Dick's Sporting Goods is in the mall. Best Buy is there. Bed Bath & Beyond obviously closed. There's a Chinese restaurant of some sort, and there's a Ross Dress for Less in the mall, and then like a couple small shops, but like it's not worth like Christmas shopping or any of that.
I know what you're saying. I love Ross because they sell Levi's jackets for affordable prices still. So
Yeah. I grew up about 5 minutes away, or 5 miles away from the River Chase Galleria in Hoover, Alabama. And that was like the biggest mall in the area for the longest. Gorgeous mall. And even they're starting to have issues keeping stores in their mall.
it's a sign of the time. It is. The Vegas experience was surreal for me because it felt like. Have you ever seen the sequel to Alice in Wonderland? I'm sorry, to what's it called? To Wizard of Oz. It was made in the 80s.
I don't know if I have or not.
If you should, it's on YouTube. When I was a kid, it actually scared me because it was extremely dark. Because when you go to Oz, everybody's singing and happy, but when she goes back, everything's overgrown. Like the brick roads all smashed up. It scared me it was on television when I was a kid because it was already, it was already an old movie by the time I was on TV.
Right, it's coming back. Yeah, I think I'd have seen it.
Not The Wiz, Terry. I still have the soundtrack on vinyl.
I love The Wiz.
The Wiz scared me too, though. I won't even front. The Wiz scared me when I was a kid. High school was terrible. It's funny. I was a ditcher as well, and my father retired right around when I was ditching. And I remember one day he came up to me and my cousin, and he was like, "Which one of you driving me home?" Because he'd figured we've been ditching for a while, so he didn't even say anything. They close malls at 7 now from teams from hanging out.
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have
that, or they have mall security to like 16-year-olds have to be or under 16 has to be accompanied by an adult after such and such time or something.
Wow.
That's a common policy.
It's funny, like my 16-year-old, like all of her friends and all of her peers are so wholesome, and I am absolutely flabbergasted at just what their culture is as teenagers. Their big acts of rebellion is to stand at the end of the driveway doing TikTok dances as cars drive by. Like, they're so wholesome. There's no smoking, none of them smoke, none of them drink, none of them smoke weed. They're just super 50s.
No, I see that my son and his friends are like that too. Like, it's so weird to me. It's so strange how wholesome they were. When in my age,
exactly.
Every other person smokes cigarettes. And I'm talking about kids too.
Yeah.
Every other person, adults, kids. Especially walking from high schools, it wasn't rare just to see kids smoking out on the road, hoping their parents didn't see. I've seen Wicked in person. I haven't seen the recent movie. I almost bought it the other day at Walmart, but I was in a rush.
Nope, never seen it.
And I tried not to buy things in an emotional state.
That's
I have
that's
a
good
rule.
advice.
We need to get like one copy and share it like we're a personal Netflix in the DVD era.
Are you kidding me? I have many DVDs. I have this real rule, like when I'm rushing, it's not that I have anxiety, but I have anxiety. So I'm like, nope. If I'm like in an emotional state, I just go straight to the register and leave. Because I got things to do, you know. You've never seen Wicked. Wow.
Yeah,
So
neither have
ridiculous. I saw it in the Pantages in Hollywood. Oh gosh. 20 something years ago.
Are we adding that to the list of things I need to watch?
I don't know if you'd like. I don't know. You might be like this the whole time.
I would probably.
It's a musical.
Scrunched. I love
I would be
Newsies.
like this? No.
I love Newsies. I love all kinds of music. I sing scores from the HMS Pinafore.
I'm just cold right now.
I'm giving you a hard time.
But I'm not
giving
going
you.
to.
We're losing to Vancouver, so I'm giving you a hard time.
Oh,
We're losing to Vancouver right now.
like how big?
It's
Go nuts.
probably still
Take
one.
her off.
We had a smoking lounge. You know, my elementary school had the teachers' lounge. Like they'd open the door and a plume of cigarette smoke would come out of it.
Oh, you're only in the second
And then
period.
they wondered why all the high schoolers.
Maybe the Kings will be a third period team today. Come back and
I've noticed all of the teams where their players participated in the
Four Nations.
They're losing.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Every single.
Have you seen the Hurricanes score a single point since they got back?
I'm telling you, something happened. They're all tired, and the other guys are well rested. Like we've had 2 weeks off.
Yeah, they have tans.
They're on the bike like that. Smoking lounge at mine too. It was different times back in the day. In my elementary school, it wasn't rare to see the teachers smoking a stogie in the parking lot and putting it on their shoe and walking right back in the classroom.
Yeah. I had an art teacher, okay, no lie, who taught people how to roll a joint with one hand. When I
can
was
see
in
that.
grade
I have
8.
extremely large hands.
So Shalom, we were making wine in 7th grade in science class.
Oh, my dad made wine all my life. So whenever they had, like, he worked for the Ministry of Forests for his whole career, like from the time he was 16 until the time he retired. And forestry people are a lot. They're a lot. They're very wild. And they would come to our house for parties. And my brother and I would get up in the morning and walk around the house and drink all the little dregs of wine in all the glasses and be completely hammered, at 7 in the morning.
Oh man, that's how I started smoking cigarettes at the young age. I grew up in a house with ashtrays.
Yep. And then we would wander around and try to find all the people. It was like playing hide and seek, but like we had a playhouse out back that my dad built us, and there was always somebody asleep in the playhouse. And we had this great big huge laundry cupboard at the end of the hallway. Like we had 10-foot ceilings, and it went from ceiling to floor, and there was always somebody in the bottom of that cupboard.
I wonder what would happen to these kids that are addicted to technology. Because that's where one day, okay, I'm not kidding you, Rita. Every time, because we have rolling blackouts during the summer, every time we have a blackout at night, my son goes through real drug withdrawals. I watch him go through every stage of like, when's the power coming back on? Oh, I'm not kidding you. When he was younger, in protest, he went to bed at like 7:45 at night, hoping that the power would come back on. He's like, this is dumb. Oh,
Oh, it looks like we've got another machine fixer in our midst. Ali, you have competition. Yeah. Drayston, you're definitely going to be popular.
Same, Mona. Same in high school.
Oh, we had some of the same experiences, Ollie. Look at us.
They would not. They wanted us to not even touch beer or wine.
No, and then they gave us little Dixie cups
when I
full
was
of
at
it.
school.
Do you know I
could feel the
have?
burn.
I'm so tempted to power one of my old sewing machines with a copper kettle, but I think YouTube might flag it. I have because it doesn't look steampunk. It looks like I'm making booze. I have the full copper kettle, but I could but with steam power I could make a so like I know how to do it, you know. But
it also might flag it for the don't try this at home.
Amir decided that he wanted to wine at my door.
Oh,
so I guess he's coming early tonight. Hold on.
He's ready.
Oh, whoops. Oh, hold on. Let me do this. Put you right here. There we go.
Beautiful.
There we go.
JP.
He's
so cute.
I know, isn't he? He was very not so nice this morning.
Oh,
we're not going to talk.
I think he's isn't he just at that age between being a kitten and being an adult, sort of, and they get extra painful at that point.
You can't see it, but I almost spit my coffee out because I'm blocked by the screen. I almost spit my coffee out because I know the incident that occurred.
Yeah. It was great. It was the best experience of ever waking up in the morning. Goodbye. But he got food. And then I got up for the morning. It was great. I had about 3.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I'm with Dre here. I think having a steam powered machine would be kind of
to me
legendary.
It's steampunk, but it's made for booze. But I don't drink hooch or alcohol at all in any way, shape, or form. I got help. And that stuff. I had a problem with moonshine. Like I had a problem. I liked it, but it didn't like me. It put me on the floor every time. Fill in your Ron White joke.
I've never had a problem with moonshine, but I did have a problem with moonshiners back in my early 20s.
I can imagine how territorial someone would be.
I mean, they always set their cabins on fire, like all the time. There was like no time when there wasn't
Somebody
a cabin
did that
on
here.
fire.
They set their house on fire, but they were making bathtub meth, and they literally set their whole house on fire.
Oh, okay. Gosh. That I'm not as much of a fan of. No, but there was
anyone in this neighborhood. If you ask them that story, they'll be like, "That was a strange day," and everyone will tell you their version of what happened. There was a 15-foot green flame coming out. The fire department kind of stood there like, "We don't know what to do." Glorious.
Did you ever surf on Vancouver Island when you were here, or go around to the surfing places?
Tillamook was as far north as I went, just because the people I was around had the equipment. Because you can't just go surfing in freezing cold water like that. You have to have a thermal suit. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know CPR.
Yeah, you have to have a wetsuit, but for you, I wonder if a wetsuit would have been enough. You might have wanted a dry suit.
Well, a thermal suit is a dry suit. I still have all my wetsuits, but it's so sad how much I do not fit in them. And I have.
Oh, do you feel like a sausage?
I refuse to put it on. No, I refuse to put it on. It's too smashy. Smashes things. But I have one where I used to wear in warm weather places where the sleeves were cut off. Well, it was made that way. It was made as shorts in the sleeve. It was just to cover.
Yeah. It's a Hawaiian suit. Basically.
Oh man, that
was probably even made.
Every time I look at that thing, I'm like, How was I ever this size? How was I ever this size? I'm gonna go grab my my sewing stuff in a minute. Our drunk making it never.
Yeah, never
just-
use an open frame.
I'm just sitting here making yo-yos, and it's fun.
You know,
I'm really happy with it.
the first time you said something about yo-yos earlier and that you couldn't find them, I was literally thinking the little plastic,
The toys.
Oh,
the toy yo-yos. I'm just
No,
going,
these-
why are you looking for this many yo-yos? Like,
now
are you?
I'm making little tiny sewn
Can we?
yo-yos.
True confession.
It's
I thought the same.
fun.
I thought the same thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm a yo-yo enthusiast. I was like,
Oh,
heck yeah!
Well,
I
they don't know
was-
what we're talking about. William doesn't know what we're talking about.
Do you want me to get
Okay,
one
hold on,
out? Do you want me to
hold
get
on,
my yo-yo
because
quilt
I'm a
out?
hacky sack and yo-yo enthusiast, and so I was like, oh, but I knew you weren't talking about yo. What I heard you talking, I was like, oh, we're
No.
not talking about the same
All
thing.
right,
at all.
hold on. I'll send you
No.
a picture.
These
I'll send you a picture.
are a quilting thing. It's a little circle of fabric, and you sew all the way around and turn a tiny little hem, and you sew all the way around the outside of it, and then you pull the thread so that it goes into
There's your
this
visual.
little
It's
sort of.
coming.
There you go.
If that doesn't work, I have one in the closet, and I can open the closet door. So if I need to pull it out, let me know.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you sew them together, and it makes a quilt thing. But I'm making teeny tiny
Yeah,
ones
those are
because I
big
don't
compared to what
want to
she's
make an
making.
entire quilt. Yeah, I'm just making like mine are less than an inch, but I've had in the last 2 days. I've been stacking them together and counting how many I have of each fabric, right? And yesterday, one of my yellow ones totally freaking disappeared. It just went poof into the universe. And I could not find it. And I was really frustrated. And then today, another one, and it disappeared right in front of my eyes. Like I had it, I put it down, and I went to get my glasses, I think, or something to put my glasses on. And I looked back down and it was gone. It was absolutely gone. And I was swearing to Jess about it and saying that the fairies have
took
been
it, yeah.
around, and have been playing tricks on me. And that's and then we had this he had this moment like you're weird.
You know what?
But that's just part of my family.
That's
Like
just- yeah,
that's
it's-
my great grandmother used to say hello to the fairies after when she was crossing a bridge every
Oh.
single time without missing, because if you didn't, they were going to do something to you later, and you had to call a raven your majesty, and she did it every single
Wow.
time.
Wow.
Like it's just, it was so much part of my life because they're traditional people, right? Like Celtic cultures are very
That's
traditional.
exactly what I thought about,
And
like Scotland and things with yours.
yeah,
Talking.
My grandmother
Exactly
didn't
it.
throw away any scraps, and she would put them out. And she had bird houses. She had the big giant backyard, rose bushes everywhere, and she was the crazy bird lady. Her house was San Juan Capistrano
Oh,
because
I
she
like
had birds everywhere in her house. Have a
wow.
great night, Mona. Thank you so much for
Oh,
stopping.
good night,
by.
Mona.
But whenever I think of I was like, why is there a cardinal in my grandma's backyard? She was
Oh,
like, the
Cardinals are
bird-
so pretty.
but you rarely see them because we have blue jays here, and they're the worst things on earth.
They're the what?
Blue jays,
What about
Blue jays can be nasty.
a blue jay will fight a person.
They're
You ever seen
mean.
Mockingbird?
they will dive bomb your head. They
Those
really
don't do that
will. We
around here.
have Stellar's Jay. Oh, we have Stellar's Jays, and they're like magpies like that. They'll steal your shit. Like literally, if they see something shiny, they will come and steal it. And they will dive bomb your head if you're anywhere
No,
near a
uh-huh.
nest.
The mockingbirds do that. The blue jays are beautiful.
Blue
Oh.
jays are
Blue-
evil. They're gang
Blue
members.
jays will do it too. Blue
See,
Jay.
I just never had that problem.
When I think of Blue Jays, I think of a gang of dudes with baseball bats. Like,
Well, I guess Southern Blue Jays just don't do that.
a West
They
Coast
just know
Blue
where
Jay
to
will
live.
fight you.
I was living in
Oh.
Alabama and they were dive bombing my dogs. Really?
Well, they don't do it in North Carolina where I'm from.
Blue Jays.
They're just chill. They're
Everyone
chill
knows
where
if you have
live.
a nest near your house, it's the worst.
Yeah, mockingbirds. You don't want to deal with those. They're horrible.
Because birds are flying south. I've seen all kinds of crazy birds. Arizona was the same way too.
You guys are all saying Blue Jays, and I'm like, I've never experienced this.
I get cardinals very cold. At the same
I'm
time
thinking
here.
the only person on earth.
We have robins and cardinals here, so beautiful.
Yeah,
They come in packs. They're worse than the squirrels. We had this conversation, but squirrels here are not scared of people, so we literally have to teach children, stay away from the squirrels. They look like all that stuff you see in the cartoons are not real. They have rabies. They're radioactive. And they don't pay child support.
Ollie's on Team Jess. Ollie is on Team Jess.
Blue Jays are good here.
Yeah.
The raccoons at my house are just evil little
Same here.
jerks. They growl at you, and their growl is so scary.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. Like, I'm gonna put it out with a trail cam. The raccoon that's near my house eats a bottle of sunscreen every time I put it out.
Yeah, you were saying
Raccoons are
that is
disgusting. Who eats sunscreen? Is there something I'm missing in sunscreen?
It must be coconut oil.
It has all the vitamins and minerals the raccoon is not getting in its trash diet.
That's just gross. They are truly trash being good.
Okay, so
go ahead.
The baseball team in Huntsville, Alabama, they went through a rebranding and they were looking for a new name. They are the Trash Pandas.
Oh,
that is literally the baseball team's name. Is Trash Pandas.
I love that. The Albuquerque, because of The Simpsons, the Albuquerque AAA team renamed themselves the Albuquerque Isotopes.
That's precious.
I have a T-shirt.
Yes,
I knew you would.
It's part.
My buddy was in a band called
that's hilarious.
He walked up and said, "I need a T-shirt, y'all."
Well, that's part of my summer collection because the sleeves are cut off.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna cry for a second. I'm not ready for summer. I'm not ready. I'm not today. The past 3 days, like at first, the first day I was like, "Yay, the heat's back!" See how dark I am. I was like, "Yay, the heat's back!" Yesterday, I was all up in the heat with my hat off. Today, full hat, full long sleeve gloves. I'm like, I'm over the heat. Get this heat out of here.
You're not ready for the hot boy summer.
It was like my car said 90, but my car's dramatic because it's all black. So it was like 87, 88.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sensors and everything, the engine, the interior, it's hot. My car is hot.
I'm just laughing that your car's being dramatic.
No, because my son and I, we have this conversation all the time because, he's very matter of fact. He is like, no, that thing's wrong. And I told him it's a dramatic temperature gauge. It's temperamental.
You just gotta drive around for a couple moments and it'll eventually go down. And you have the true reading.
My car is always a few degrees above what it says it is. I have 2 squirrels that jump. I'm not a fan of squirrels.
No. See, I don't have squirrels like this either in North Carolina. Like, I don't know. Maybe my oak trees drug them. I don't know. Like,
they're so bad. When my son was younger, we stopped going to a park I was like, I can't deal with the stress. I can't deal with this. I was like a hockey goalie the whole time. No. Like, I'm not a fan of squirrels.
That's too much.
Of course,
I feel that. I feel that.
Raccoon hates your sunscreen. Oh, and it's my son. It's because he leaves it out, and I tell him, like, bro, we're on like the 5th or 6th bottle.
You use lotion. You don't use spray, right?
Yeah, no, we use no, I've seen that episode of what the spray does to you. Let me go get my pieces. I was already kind of scared of aerosol. Back in my day, we had aerosol Right Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody said it was going to give you cancer, and so and you know what's so funny? We were all 12, so I had a bunch of 12-year-old professors telling me, and I never wore it. I used to wear it, and I stopped wearing it. So I really don't wear anything that's aerosol.
Well, you know, the 80s and Aquanet kind of like took care of a lot of us for us.
You know, like, I mean, I had a mohawk in high school, and I used ice mist, and it was out of a trigger bottle, and not ahead of my time, I guess. But that
All that
shit,
stuff's
oh my
toxic.
god. It was like getting it off your hair when you
Oh, I
tried to
know.
wash it. It was like giant flakes of weird, and it
I would start
But I
brushing it from
mean,
the
you
bottom and work
suffered.
my way up, and it took forever to do that first.
Yeah.
Then you could wash it.
Yep. But you know, you suffer for fashion
You know,
in high
we don't
school.
look this. No. That's what I say. I'm like, I don't look this good overnight, y'all. I got to work at this. That's what I tell people.
Oh.
So
I did cheerleading. And so we had to do the whole, you know, ponytail, or you put your hair in a French braid or something like that, and then you had to spray it. And of course, I have little wispy curlies here. So of course that stuff had to get sprayed like flat to my skull, like gel it and then spray it.
Yeah.
And it was like taking an ice pick to try to get to my scalp.
Yeah. I mean, I went to high school during the time when the phrase came about: the higher the hair, the closer to God. You know?
That's amazing.
Thankfully, they didn't say that to me.
No, I just like this hairstyle. This has been with me since high school. Like, I just left it down. I think if I was to take my senior picture and just tilt my head a little bit, I'd probably look the same.
You know what's really funny? The only difference.
Yeah,
the only difference between my senior picture and right now is that this is gray. I was bald, and I had a goatee.
I think I could still wear the dress I graduated high school in.
No joke. Year.
I don't have it anymore.
I haven't tried it on because I know I probably won't fit, but I have my junior high gym shirt. And once a year I would put it on, but I would cry because I've gained a significant amount of weight.
So I have this one.
Since you were 14, of course you have.
I have this one dress that I can never get rid of.
Yeah.
And it's the weirdest thing in the world. It doesn't matter how much weight I gain or how much weight I lose. This dress still fits. It might look a little bit different based off of my weight.
Yeah.
But this dress that I wore in high school, like my mom was sitting down. Oh, good night, Terry. My mom was sitting down.
Great night, Terry.
And showing my husband pictures of me from high school. And she's showing him all these pictures, and one of them is me in this dress sitting on our front porch. And of course, I'm so proud of this dress and like putting it out like it's got a train to it. It doesn't, but putting it out like it's got a train to it. And that dress was brand new in those pictures. And he's like looking at him. I'm like, okay, just wait until I get back home. He's like, what do you mean? I said, just wait. So I got back home. He went back home to his house at the time because we were just dating. I put that dress on and I took pictures. And he's like, "What are you? What is this magic? You're wearing the dress you wore in those pictures that your mom showed me." I was like, "Yeah, I am."
Hmm.
It was like the most magic dress.
Well, I weigh the same that I weigh. Well, no, I'm a little smaller than I weighed when I was in high school. But my body has changed so much since high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My
And
hips
like,
have changed.
no, like I wear smaller clothes. Like I couldn't. Like I'm trying to figure out like how that happened. So you think motherhood kind of like
Motherhood
readjusted
changes
me?
everything.
Yeah.
Changes
It does.
everything.
It does.
I have.
My body's a lot stronger
I
too.
think, I don't know if I still have it or not, but I did have a dress that I wore to a college formal, and for a short period of time in 2006, 2017, I could wear that dress again.
Yeah.
But
I have an Albert Bell Cleveland Indians jersey that I wore in junior high school that still fits me. But to be fair, like that's when like TLC was popular, so I bought the jersey and it was huge on me back then, and now everyone's like, "Oh, that jersey fits on you perfect." But that was
Here I
like,
am.
1995.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. But I collect vintage clothes, so I have clothes that are older than me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a pair of Wrangler bell bottoms that I know for a fact that are older than me. Whenever I feel like going full Saturday Night Fever, I put them on.
So what are you making? What did I miss?
I am on my third prototype. I'm getting my Sojo back, so I'm going back to what I know.
Okay.
all right.
I pulled out good old Mimi G R11407. For anyone who's been here for a while, they're tired of me even saying that.
Shalom. You have that. I know, I'm just kidding.
A secret.
Oh no, you're not supposed to say that out loud.
It's one of the most widely sold patterns. Like you can get it at Walmart. I bought a bunch of Mimi G patterns. They're overpriced too.
Oh, you're supposed to just shake your head. I know. Oh.
You should have seen people's face when I told them I paid $20 for a pattern. They were like, "What?" But I'd buy them right. I'd buy it right from the
Commercial patterns are
Yeah.
insane.
I see those at Joann's and things. And I
Well,
don't see that. I don't.
You won't
I
for
didn't
much
think it was
longer.
expensive.
it's older now. It's an older pattern, so it's cheaper. But I bought all of them when they first came out.
Ah.
And her husband, whatever he is, he has his own line as well. And I have a bunch of his, and I would just grab it and put it in my cart and move on.
Yeah.
And I know how much I usually spend. There was one time I bought the overall pattern. It was $25. And even at the counter, I was like, all right, I'll just take it. And I still haven't made those overalls.
Oh.
You need to make those overalls.
Yeah, you need to. We can all make overalls, and we can all, we can be like quadruplets together.
I mean, overalls over our robes, right? Or under
Yeah.
our robes.
Look how adorable we'd all look.
Yeah. And the Mimi G raglan sleeve shirt.
The sad thing is I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, I know
And I
you
have
do.
people that can make overalls for me. So two of them are like right in front of me. Hey, how y'all doing? And then there's Pam. There's three.
Pameralls are famous.
Hey, they're coming.
Pameralls,
Is Pam still on here?
Pameralls, we need to register that. She needs to trademark it so it's Pameralls.
She has a hashtag. Like there's a bunch of hashtags that I didn't realize that I took over on Instagram. And so anytime you type it in, my old Instagram will pop up.
But I sent her all my measurements yesterday.
Awesome.
So Yeah, I'm excited.
So
I have to replace my long arm before I spend any other money.
this particular pattern came from the My So-Called Life collection. I've had this probably for 2 or 3 years, and it's just sat here in this room, and I'm deciding to do something with it. Oh, this is the front.
Oh, I like that.
I love that.
I like how big the print is.
I've had,
Pretty amazing.
It's like oversized bandana print.
I've had this for
amazing.
a very long time, so I figured I should do something about it. A while ago, I got so crazy with Walmart prints that I put myself on the Waverly. Like basically, I was ordering stuff from the manufacturer.
Yeah.
I went crazy. I
The
went
best way to do
because
it.
it was cheaper. It was way cheaper.
So do you technically have an LLC for that?
What do you mean?
Like if you could buy from the manufacturer?
No,
Like,
I
your business?
like on their particular website, you can buy all their stuff they sell in Walmart or whatever store it is they sell it
No,
in.
I was gonna try to use you. But never mind.
I just pulled the thread of my yo-yo all the way through.
Ouch.
Nobody makes it without somebody being in a
I have a
business.
Johnny Carson dress shirt. I've been watching a lot of Johnny Carson. We need to bring back the plaid suit.
You have plaid. Are you gonna bring it back?
I am. I'm gonna bring back the plaid suit. There's the night he walks out. I'm like, that's a slick suit. But by today's standards, he'd be a cheese bag if he walked in with the plaid.
No, there's guys. Well, they're probably older guys.
Yeah,
But there's
no,
guys that wear that around
there's
here.
a revival.
Like
You
with
do it.
tweed, I didn't realize
know.
how the tweed community, how strong the tweed community was until I came across it.
Yeah, yeah. You look up like they call there's a British revival of that sort of fashion, and they call themselves chaps. And the chap community all wear these beautiful. Oh yes, it's got you
Yes,
gotta
you
have the
do.
elbow
Hey,
but
Zodiac.
like
Hey, Zodiac,
Yeah.
you. I didn't realize it was you speaking. Welcome in. How was your day? You do anything fancy?
This stuff has been
Brilliant.
folded for so long, though. I find this stuff hidden, like underneath here and behind where my chair is. I've ordered so much stuff; it's insane.
Yeah.
So my fabric collection is a gift that keeps on giving. Eventually, I am gonna snap and buy a roll of tweed, but I'm not there yet. Because I bought all of this. I keep on telling myself, you bought all of this because at some time you really liked it. So do something with it.
Exactly.
At least that's what I yell at myself and say.
I keep perusing the Dalgleish Tartan Mill store, online store. It's pretty insane and gross, and I love it. And one day, I mean, it takes 8 to 10 yards to make most kilts, and Dalgleish is the only original woolen mill still going, and their stuff, what they make will last 100 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just have someone that probably won't wear a kilt in public, in my life.
I would. I have.
But it'll cost north of $1,000 to order all the fabric.
Agree.
There's this one fabric vendor I used to go to. They have all this like Italian wool and stuff, and they had a sign next to it that said, "If you have to ask how much this is, you can't afford it." I never asked them how much the wool was. I was intimidated by the size.
Next, if you ever go back there, you need to ask them. Just caveat it with because I want to know what tax bracket I need to get into.
What did you teach at school today, Zonia?
There are certain
I taught
things.
too.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just asking him what he taught today.
I have certain principles. Like, for as much as I love the Los Angeles Kings, I refuse to pay $400 for a jersey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There are certain things I have to stay strong on that one too. $120 a yard.
Yeah, that's like I said, north of $1,000
Yeah.
to make a kilt, because there's that, and then you need to buy the canvas, the tailor's canvas. There's a lot involved. Yeah,
That's crazy.
but I bet you I can. Oh, there we go. I was gonna guess that he taught a little bit of you stay in line, son, or you're gonna be in for a world of pain.
Aw.
I think that's one of the main lessons. Because 6-year-olds, right? Like 6-year-olds are just ants in your pants.
Yes.
Oh, my son homeschooled. I know the entire curriculum now for junior high and high school.
Well, I can at least get you through middle school and then all the way through high school in math if you ever need help. So, yeah.
Next year is when the hard stuff shows up for my son. He was so disappointed when he found out all the electives are not fun ones. You actually have to learn a language.
Yeah, 11th grade is tough because they've got to they want to make it tough the year before you graduate so that you just coast through the graduation year and you actually graduate.
Or you have time to make it up if you screwed it up the first time around.
That's so true.
Yeah, that's where my kid is at.
His
11th grade.
Are courses there just like by semester, or are they all year long?
They're by semester.
Semester. Yeah, semester.
Because when I was in high school, it was an all year long course.
Yeah. So
But I had 9 periods during the day. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
So I was at school from
no,
7:36 in the morning till 2:08. I can still remember those 4 minutes between the bells.
I can't imagine kids here having to start at 7:30 in the morning. Our school is almost exclusively 9 to 3, but it's like within a few minutes here or there.
I was the first one on the bus in the morning, and I was always the first one off the bus. Because my parents would drive me to school.
My high school started at 7:30, and it was funny because me and my friend, we would take the bus, and we had no interaction with any other high school because we started a full hour and a half before every other high school.
Yeah.
So we never saw anyone because they were so sleeping while we were at school.
Yeah. They used our buses to pick up elementary kids too. So we had to be in shifts. So they would bring the high schoolers and then go get the elementary kids. And do that.
Our bell was 8 a.m. and then our late was 8:05. And then you got counted absent by 8:15. Like if you weren't at school by 8:15. But we all had to commute. Like nobody lived really within walking distance of the school. Like everybody was commuter. I mean, I had a 20-minute commute depending on traffic.
Wow.
That's interesting how they did your school.
7:05 though. 7:05. Oh my god. I would never have made it.
When I played football, we had to be there at like 6:45.
Yeah.
Did you have 2 practices?
Yeah.
Morning and then afternoon?
Yeah, we'd practice in the morning and then we practiced at 6th period until the sun went down.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. It is now illegal Like we would have 2-a-days when it would be 115 outside. It is now illegal for them to do that. They can't be outside if it's over 90 something.
Yeah.
Too many parents complained, or
No, actually, it was a rash
kids
of
passing out.
passing away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is partially due to like
Dehydration?
that's what I have. No, I have like so my heart is enlarged. It's like it's on steroids. And people with what I have die at 18 years old doing athletics. And if it's hot, it's especially bad. It's the number one cause of cardiac death for people under the age of 35 is this disease that I have. And it's not usually diagnosed unless you're in autopsy.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to diagnose, on a living person.
Almost every single time, it's exactly what Shalom is describing. Almost every single time. It's somebody who didn't know they had that condition. And then they join a team, and it's Hades. Where I live, it is the center of the sun hot where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had my first stroke was caused by heat. So I'm really, really careful about it now. I just had a really overly hot shower and had a stroke in the shower.
My first round of heat exhaustion and heat stroke, the AC had gone out in our house, and I was at home waiting for the repair person to show up. And my dad shows up, and I'm completely passed out. Scared him.
Yeah.
Obviously, I survived it because I'm here. But
I'm actually ironing because this stuff is so wrinkled from sitting here for so long.
I wonder what amount of caffeine I would have to consume in order to actually be, speak sense at 7:05 at school.
there's nothing that could make me speak sense that early in the morning.
Okay, so as somebody who has to be at work at 4:00 in the morning, it's not about, well, you just have to speak clearly. I have a practice speech to where if my brain's not working, I just kick into my speech and tell everyone, like, I wish the best for you.
Yeah, I could always get up. My alarm went off. I jumped out of bed. I was gone. Like, I could do it.
I miss that about myself. When I was in my 20s, I would literally leap out of bed. And I wake up now and I'm like, oh, another one, huh? Another day, huh?
Put me in a burrito. Just, no, the day hasn't come yet. The time isn't here. No way.
I need about 5 minutes to adjust to the different portion of reality, and adjust to verticality, but 5 minutes and I'm good.
I still need at least 30.
6 to 5. That's why Max could speak English when he came to America.
11 hours of schooling.
I'm telling you, my friend from Hamburg is the same age as I am. We are the exact same age. He's a brain surgeon, and I drive a tractor in big squares in a field.
But to be fair, they probably also have a much better lunch system than what we have here in the U.S. They probably actually eat real food.
Yeah, I'd probably go home.
That's not a big stretch.
The bad thing is, though, I will die on this hill. When I was younger, even in junior high and high school, we had amazing meals. My high school is the reason why I ate McChickens for almost 20 years, because they made a wannabe McChicken.
Yeah.
They literally copied McDonald's and was like, hey, and the kid, like our school, we loved those things. So I blame my high school for that. And they had Taco Bell at my high school.
Okay.
That is not a good thing. My kids' high school. Okay, so at my kids' high school, they have a culinary program for Red Steel Chef certification, and they make the food for the calf there, And they have a salad bar, a giant salad bar.
Okay, I will just my whole life I've loved a salad bar. So I would have destroyed one.
I would have.
Absolutely.
They actually they passed a law because my high school had sodas. We had soda machines. And so now in my state they got rid of all the soda machines in high school.
Oh.
Yeah, here too. You can't sell anything sugary in any of the vending machines in schools, elementary or high school. No candy, no chocolate, nothing like that. And even the sort of salty snacks have to be moderately healthy.
I'm laughing because my high school.
Timers on ours.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We have timers on ours. So after lunch or whatever, like after they're supposed to have their nutritious lunch. Right before the end of the day, the timers open up, and then and let the kids, they can get soda and chips and things from the machines.
Stay here, ask the lunch lady for 2 recipes. They used to cook when I was in school. They cooked for real. And I'm not kidding you, they would copy if something was popular, the lunch ladies would copy it.
Yeah.
Junior chef class. I wouldn't trust my fellow students to feed me back then. Oh, wow.
Okay, so I went to school with a
Dave
girl.
Thomas from Wendy's, not Dave.
I had a girl that I went to school with that walked into Kentucky Fried Chicken, literally walked up to the counter and asked if they still sold chicken there.
Oh my goodness.
I would not trust my classmates to make my food.
That's a man's meal.
No way. No way.
I have a feeling that William would have ate that same thing. Man's meal.
The culinary teacher,
Allie,
the culinary teacher at Avery School went to Cordon Bleu.
To be fair, my diet consists of mozzarella sticks and Pepsi. So I'm kind of, what's funny? I've digressed in my diet. I was actually extremely healthy, and something happened to me 4 years ago. I gave up. I'm not kidding you.
He let himself go.
I'm kidding you. I was extremely health conscious because I have breathing issues, all kinds of issues where I have to watch my diet. So there's a lot of stuff I don't eat, but there's a lot of stuff I brought back.
Yeah. It happens. Yeah.
It's the dairy. It's the dairy, isn't it? I bet.
Shalom, you are throwing a no-hitter tonight. It is 100% the dairy. I'm not supposed to touch it, and I love cheese and milk. Oh, I don't know what I would do without either. But I'm not supposed to.
I struggle with cheese. That's like a hard pass to give up that. That was the hardest thing.
My whole life, I've had this love for nachos. If anyone who knew me from when I was a kid, they would be like, "Oh my God, he never grew up." But I love cheese on anything.
Excuse me, nachos are like a culinary masterpiece. Like, don't no hate on
I've been
nachos,
eating,
please.
I've been eating since I was 8, since I could say the word nachos, please.
You were probably eating them before that because then you knew what to say.
True. I have the ingredients in my house at all times to make nachos. And I'm not supposed to eat cheese.
You got that fake cheese stuff?
No.
That's I don't think they should be allowed to attach cheese.
Yeah, that word should not be attached.
So here's my thing, and everyone's gonna laugh. I was addicted to Tostitos, that fig cheese in the jar. When I stopped drinking alcohol, the first time I tasted it, I was like, "What is this abomination?"
Yeah.
So it was the booze, and I haven't had that in almost 14 years. I was addicted to that stuff.
Yeah.
It is an abomination, absolutely.
Addicted. Dude, you know what's so funny? I tried it like 2 or 3 months ago, and they changed the taste, so it's wrong. And you know what? I will destroy some 7-Eleven nachos. I love that fake cheese sauce too.
There's a place called Hams here. They make the best nachos ever.
Oh,
Hands down. And Tuesday is like half price appetizer night.
oh.
Better.
You know what's really funny? I was actually today telling my son tales of the old AM PM. Do you remember what AM PM was in like the 80s and 90s?
We don't have those, so please tell
No,
me
No,
a
we
story.
don't know
I
what you're
need to
talking
hear.
about.
It was
Yeah,
just decadent. They had every soda, they had every flavor of slushy. It was just decadence. And you don't see that in stores unless you go to a Buc-ee's.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say, this is why I have to go to I've told Zodi a bunch of times, like, we're going to a Buc-ee's, and I think you should probably block off about 4 hours of the schedule for me to wander around in there and decide what I'm actually gonna purchase, because I will want to buy everything.
Well,
But, you're gonna have to be my guide for what is a
Yeah.
wise purchase.
Because I take my son to 7-Eleven all the time, but like it's nothing like it. Like back in the day, man, you could walk around with half a heart attack on your sleeve as you're walking out the store.
Yeah. They're building one about 40 minutes east of me. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Where I live, 7-Elevens have taken over. They're everywhere.
Yeah, we have 7-Elevens too.
And
But
don't
they're
get me
just
wrong, I have a problem with their taquito. In no way, shame, or form am I bad mouthing 7-Eleven. I still drink Arizona iced tea and eat their taquitos. And no one
Arizona iced tea is good. Come
Mm.
on. Like, it's good shit.
no. Ever since I've been in the South, I gotta have the real stuff.
There's a restaurant near me that makes the best nachos. I always order the green chili on the side, so they aren't. Oh, that's amazing.
Katie, yes,
Great to see you,
girl.
Katie.
We could be
I still wish
friends.
I
Meet
still
for
wish I could
friends.
hang out longer on Monday.
A Southerner was telling me about Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wigglies.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was BS too. No joke, Alibaba. I thought it was BS too.
No, there's 2 in my area. Ollie, you want to go shopping with me someday? We can go to Piggly Wiggly.
But what is a Piggly Wiggly?
It's a grocery
It's a
store.
grocery store.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's like a It's like a less expensive Kroger.
No joke.
Piggly
Around here,
Would you like a Piggly Wiggly t-shirt?
all of our grocery stores have names of people. All of them. Ralph's, Bonds, John's.
Okay. Piggly Wiggly, Harris Teeter.
We didn't
Food
have
Lion.
Harris Teeter in Alabama. We didn't have Food Lion. Or maybe we did have one, maybe. Ours was Kroger and Publix.
Oh, Piggly Wiggly.
And
Ollie
here
needs
we've
a
got-
Piggly Wiggly t-shirt too.
I must live in the only place in the world like this, but our 7-Elevens are closing because people just don't
Whoa!
go.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
If
People are too health conscious to go to 7-Eleven here.
there is I couldn't imagine not being able to get one of those nitrate hot dogs that just sit there and spin on. And I'm not even saying that to be facetious. I
Yeah,
love
no.
those things.
No.
There are no places that have those here anymore. They have been basically taken off of the market because they're just breeders for gross and
Wow.
disgustingness.
So
and
Rita, our Piggly Wiggly
poisoning.
definitely does not resemble a Whole Foods whatsoever.
No,
No, it's
no, nothing
No.
like it.
bottom of the chain of the grocery stores.
Our Whole Foods is
It's-
bougie.
But they do have a
Piggly
mean
Wiggly-
deli. They have a mean deli. Anybody can go.
Yeah.
Yes.
They do,
Yeah, I have Albertsons.
and they do still have Albertsons in. They have Albertsons in Washington
Hey,
State.
Ralph's and
Albertsons, yeah.
Albertsons, they went under in California.
You still have Fred Meyer's out there?
Last time I was in Washington, they had
Only
Fred.
from-
That's the only time I've ever been. It was in Washington State.
Only from Oregon to the Canadian border do they have Fred Meyer.
Oh, okay. I just remember the first time I walked in one. I got a pair of shoes. I was like 10. Because my mom wanted to get us new shoes for our Easter outfits.
I still have a lifetime membership to this place called Bimart. Do you think if I brought my 20-something-year-old card, they'd honor my membership?
Absolutely. Yeah. They might give you an updated one.
That'd be cool. It was literally a ghetto Walmart in
Yeah.
Tigard, Oregon. They sold DVDs. They sold they had one row of. You could tell it was a bigger store, but it wasn't that big. They sold clothes. It was an odd place. I miss Bimart. I bought a mini television before I had enough money for a real one.
Oh, you're right, Rita.
Oh, I've already said it a million times. I'm obsessed with deli food.
Well, then you could go to Piggly Wiggly.
So I'm gonna try a Japanese. Do you know what's funny? I went to a 7-Eleven in Mexico and they had way better food. First off, I walked in there like I was a space alien. I was like, oh, because it was so out of place.
Yeah.
Because it was it looked like it was in the, it looked like every 7-Eleven you've ever seen. Crazy.
Interesting.
I need to go to Don Quixote in Japan. There's a whole list of places I want to go. I may not, certain parts of the earth I may not make it to. I don't know if we'll have time on the world tour.
Oh. Well,
Yeah,
you just
Albertson's
gotta make things priorities. You gotta make a list. I know how much you love to make lists.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm the biggest non-lister. I am. Whenever you hear Freebird play, that's me trying to make a decision. If you ever hear Freebird play, they're like, "Oh, William's got to make a decision again."
You want me to play it right now?
No, I might cry. I love that song.
Well, they played it. That was the Four Nations USA song.
Oh, that's so funny.
But no, every time you go on a trip, just think about 3 things that you would like to do. Just 3 things, and then everything else can be spontaneous.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever keep it to 3, honestly. Maybe because I'm a little bit too ADHD, but okay, I've been telling Zodi for years that I need to go to the Texas Quilt Museum.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
found it in this town that he used to live in, and
Right.
I'm like,
There's a few places like that. I've been to wax museums out in the middle of nowhere. I love small town museums too. Even my town has one because my town's a total has-been because silent films were filmed in my town. And so we have a walk of fame and everything, but it's, of a bunch of people you've never heard of because it's literally from 100 years ago.
Well, you would have to have a historical biography on all the people too.
I'm into it, but I know their names. All the high schools around here are named after them.
Yeah.
Streets are named after old silent film stars, so they're still alive to us. But they've been long gone.
It's the foreigners. We don't understand.
What is strange is both Safeway and Albertsons are both owned by, is that Cerberus Capital Management? Kroger is wanting to buy both. So far, FCC won't let it happen.
FCC's put a kibosh on it.
Last time I was in Mexico, I was in and made the mistake of buying a bag of gum from one of the kids. The Chick-fil-A kids will take your wallet.
Yes, they will.
A good friend of mine, I want to say he's 6'4", When we were in high school, we went to Mexico, and he has a bleeding heart. I told him, stay away. It's not what you think. And I stopped a child from taking his wallet. Like, literally just took the wallet out of the kid's hands. I was like, thank you. The Chick-fil-A kids are no joke in Mexico. Got bought by over a dozen kids. Exactly. You should avoid the Chick-fil-A kids at all costs. It's sad because it makes you want to cry because you look at them, they're little kids. They are mobsters. Literally mobsters. Have you ever been to somewhere like that where people are trying to pick your pocket that is in Manhattan?
No.
Yes.
I've
Southern Italy.
Italy's so they warn you. They like I call it Vegas rules, where you have to wear your wallet in your front pocket.
Oh no, yeah, I always had it. I actually wore mine in one of those passport things around my. I wore a fanny pack that was just but that was the dud. Like I wore the fanny pack as to make it seem like that, and just kept a few coins in it, and just crap and old tissues, and then I put my actual valuables around my neck inside my clothes.
So I went just across the border to Mexico when I was a teenager, and they warned us about the Chick-fil-A kids. That was crazy. I had that experience.
I traveled at a very young age, so I learned, that the world isn't always what it seems.
Yeah.
And even when I was younger, my parents would say things, and I'm like, man, that's so harsh. I catch myself saying that to my son. Where I live, we have people who walk around. They stand in intersections, and they have jars, and it says, "Oh, for so and so funeral." I've seen the same people for over 4 years all around the valley and my side of LA.
Yeah.
And they have different pictures of different people. These people were busted on the news. They go to jail. They come right back on the street in a different town.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to teach because my son, he is such a tender-hearted, loving human. He tips everyone. He's like, tells me, hey, cheapo, give them more money. Like, he punks me. He's like, give them more money. If anyone has a tip jar, if he has any money, he will give it to them. And I had to tell him these people are lying. They're professional scammers, but they're all over Los Angeles. And it's sad because now I don't know what's real and what's not anymore when it comes to charity.
Yeah.
It can be hard. I have a story that would break your heart, but I can't tell you yet.
What was the story? What was the hurricane that hit Louisiana back in the day?
Katrina.
It was so bad here in LA. The news was telling people, do not give money to anybody that has a jar. They had to set up official sites because people were the cops were busting people with thousands of dollars that they had no intention of giving to the victims.
Oh yeah. That happens for every hurricane though.
I was young, and so I was out in the world when that happened, so I paid attention because there were jars everywhere. And as somebody who works in an organization that helps people, there are actual organizations that help people.
There definitely are.
No more sad. Do you know tweed? Tweed has a weird smell.
It does.
Anything that's made out of real wool has an
and no matter how much it absorbs this room, it still has the tweed smell.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it gets wet.
I refuse. No, wet tweed smells like a wet dog.
Yes, it does. Well, a wet sheet.
So I will not go outside with tweed.
I'm used to it though because like I mean I come from a rainforest and we always wore wool sweaters because a wool like wool is just it's the thermodynamics of wool are amazing. Like it will retain its ability to keep you warm even when it is completely soaking wet. So it's something that we always grew up with, and I'm just used to it.
Katie, I learned this. Even Autism Speaks is kind of a scam.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff, and I had to do all this weird research because of my job. It's a scam. There's all kinds. Even the Wounded Warrior Project came out to be a scam.
Oh.
Locks of Love is a
Okay,
scam.
anything that makes cancer patients pay for the hair is insane. There are so many charities that literally give the hair. If you have cancer, the last thing you want to do is spend thousands of dollars on a real wig.
Absolutely.
I get angry. I get angry talking about that one.
Yeah. I did a lot of research on that because my like Avery when she was little, her hair grew so long and it was so gorgeous. And when she finally wanted to cut off her hair, it was down to the back of her knees. So we cut off on my 5-year-old 27 inches of hair and had to wanted to figure out who to donate it to. And that's when I found out that Locks of Love is a
Total. We were going to do the same thing with Isaiah's locks
bad.
when he first cut it off.
Yeah.
But I know someone who has lupus,
Yeah.
and she told us flat out. She was like, because she lost her hair and wears wigs at a very young age, and she was like, "This is a scam."
Well, the Susan G. Komen breast cancer, a lot of the money does not go to actual breast cancer survivors or those going through breast cancer.
It's not like I'll ever get big, so they're not going to sue me. There are so many organizations like that. Susan G. Coleman is one where if you go in the parking lot, and same with Autism Speaks, because their official offices are here in LA, everybody is driving like a Bentley. Or like literally they have hundreds of thousands. The worst one, because I work with all different types of organizations, the people like the actual head office of NA, AA, overeaters, the people who run that, they make millions and they keep their staff low because it's all donations from all these chapters.
Yeah.
And these
they're getting rich off the backs of the people that have compassion.
Yacht money, and everybody's donating $1, not knowing they're paying for yachts. Like it's so sad. That's one of the reasons I got out of, because I'm involved in the nonprofit world, and a lot of it is just people scamming each other. It's quite gross when you get involved in the nonprofit world. Matter of fact, when anyone ever comes at me and says, I run a nonprofit, I'm like, so how much are you trying to scam from the government?
There.
And don't get me wrong. Again, disclaimer, there's a ton that actually help people. There's organizations that helped me when I was younger. I'm not saying they don't exist.
Yeah.
Well, like Quilts of Valor. We actually do make quilts for veterans. So
that's my thing. Like when I would donate stuff, I would make sure it would go directly, like actually to people. Like when I donated my 700 shirts, I'm not kidding you. I see people wearing my old clothes.
I mean, yeah.
And I'm like, heck yeah, my shirt's living on,
Living his best life.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I spent years, I'm like a borrower. I spent years collecting all that stuff. Even I work with special needs people in general, and Goodwill can legally pay them half a wage.
Yeah.
So if you're considered special needs, they literally can pay you half a wage. And I still, to this day, there is someone who legally explained it to me. And at the end of the conversation, they were like, I know it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I've heard the logic behind that one too, and while I got it, it still is kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Because they consider them half of a person, if you really think about it.
Yeah, it's kind of the logic behind it.
Exactly. And as an advocate, like I'm fighting right now for my son and his license because there's no law that says autistic people can't get a driver's license.
I didn't think they would deny him though.
My autistic nephew has a driver's license.
I think it just depends on the person. A lot of people here the thing we run into is people say they have training and blah 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 and they don't.
They took one online course that was 30 minutes long, and they managed to get over 80% on their questionnaire. That was like 2 questions.
I have to get my certs checked every 6 months.
Yeah. Do you have to drug test or anything, or you just have to just pass the test?
To quote my employer, if we started drug testing people, we wouldn't have employees. No, ever since pot became legal, a lot of places stopped drug testing.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to test positive for the green stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so ever since.
Well, that's the other stuff then I worry about.
Even just environmental.
I was thinking this. Oh my god, your chi is up today, Shalom. I was thinking this.
You and I are just always on the same wavelength,
that's
William.
True. That's so
You know.
hilarious. I was thinking that, but it is true. No, because I asked my boss. I was like, well, because the rule is if you crash, because I work around heavy machinery, if you crash, you get drug tested and fired.
Yeah.
And like I said, what are you gonna do with the legalization? And they were like, well, we're gonna stop drug testing people. But some places do. They don't want a bunch of stoners at their job, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
You know, but as a real life cheech, you got to do what you got to do.
They even stopped the drug testing the Navy guys.
Oh, really?
Here. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's legal, so they're allowed
In
to.
hockey, they stopped a lot of drug testing, but that was more because people couldn't stop doing other stuff. I think it was because they're trading the employees.
We never, ever had to drug test. And, I mean, it's not like it would have made any difference to me, but I on principle, I hate the idea.
Well, see, also another thing that I've run into, what if somebody has to take something because of a disability or a chronic illness or like, you know, so a blanket.
They have to have a prescription for it and they have to write it on the form. So they have to disclose it. That's where it's a violation of HIPAA. You're forcing them to disclose.
Exactly. See, that's where all the gray tape comes in. So my boss was kind of like, nope, we're done with that. Hope for the best. As I told my employer, don't care if drugs and alcohol are illegal. No drugs or alcohol. Yes, they had to go get drug tested randomly. Wow. It all depends on the employer.
When I was working, one of the companies I worked for, they would do random drug tests, and I was always one of the ones that was random drug tested. I was a teenager, but they random drug tested when I was there so that they could drug test everybody. They knew I was going to come up clean, but they were looking for somebody specific. Every time they were looking at somebody specific, but it wasn't me, but they knew I would pass.
Yeah. You know, as somebody who I used to fly, and I flew right after 9/11. It would always make me laugh. I flew so much they stopped randomly searching me because I swear the TSA people were like, "Oh, he's been here 15 times. We know this guy. We know." So whenever somebody else would get picked, they look at me like there was a guy literally in Sky Harbor, and I've told the story probably. He was from Chicago. He freaked out and said, "What about this guy?" And he pointed at me, and he didn't get on the plane. But I have my style has not changed. I have always dressed like Judas Priest. So I get it.
Okay, I gotta know. Okay, did you know back in the day that Rob Halford was gay? Like, did you even suspect? Because
No,
I didn't.
no, but there's a joke in the biker world when someone's wearing a bunch of leather and they're going onto a bar. They're like, with all that leather on, you're either going to a biker bar or a gay bar, and there is no in between.
Yeah,
But
but
he rode that line. He rode that like fine line. No. And quite honestly, I still don't care after all. Like,
oh no, I don't care, and I wouldn't have cared then even. Like, I mean, there was a kid at my high school who was super gay, and it was a really rednecky kind of town, and so I lied and said, "Oh no, he's my boyfriend," to keep him from getting beat the crap, out of him. But no, I wouldn't have cared. But I just didn't know that it was. And now that I'm looking back and I look at him now, he still wears the same clothes, and he's definitely a leather daddy, like
for real.
right.
And there's, what, as someone who's a leather enthusiast, it's been a while since I've busted out my leather collection.
Okay.
It's
We're
been a
bringing it up.
while. You're pro chaps, huh?
You know I am.
Those chaps, the ones that I found last year, those were hardcore real leather chaps, and I laughed so hard when they fit.
It was National Jessica Day yesterday. I didn't get it. I had a really rough day. I think you might have to just break them up.
Yeah, I'm with Jessica, and I call him Mulligan.
Ooh. How you doing? Today's the last day of the month. It's the last day of the month. It's your last day of your birthday month.
No,
Last day.
two more days.
I'll go.
Tomorrow's the last day.
Oh man,
No, two more
it's
days.
Grandma's birthday. It's Grandma's birthday. I gotta buy her something.
Oh yeah, your mom's birthday is tomorrow, right? No, Saturday.
When's the first?
Saturday.
Okay, there's time. There's time.
You do have time.
What do you buy your mom for her birthday?
What are you
It
gonna
depends on what she's into. Usually, we go to restaurants, and I am her designated driver
Okay.
because I do not drink alcohol, and my mother drinks schooner margaritas.
Okay.
Like margaritas that come in gauntlets, like giant bowls you have to grab with two hands.
A fishbowl of margarita. Okay.
Oh, the Canucks won in OT.
Yeah. Go Nucks. Go Nucks.
We had a bunch of players that were in the
telling you
that weird. We had a bunch of players.
Na 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 na.
Oh,
na,
she's playing your song.
Na, na. Hey,
It's funny you're singing that as I'm watching the highlight of them winning. Your chi is way up. Go play the lottery. Gonna plug my ears here. I got rid of my bike. Riding leather. I have full chaps. I have everything. I even have I have a 1970s leather jacket. I have in the 1980s. My 1980s is more shoulder pads.
I'm not really believing you. I don't think you have it unless you show it.
My 80s leather jacket is so freaking cool. It has leather elbow patches on the it's actually a moto jacket though. It's actually for riding.
There should be, Ollie. There should be an end of the month gag. Are you kidding
Bring it
me?
on.
You know, in my family, if you had more than 5 people, it was a party. Where I'm from, if you have more than 5 people, they just put music on and all of a sudden it's a party. That deserves cake. 28th is Don't Freak Me Out.
I'm sorry.
You can be solo and still deserve cake. Okay, come on.
They make They make personal cakes at the Safeway by my house.
Yeah,
Tiny. They
because
make like
they
any
know.
kind you could think of.
They know that every day is a cake day if you believe in yourself enough.
I
They didn't even win.
then the Four Nations drink binge. They haven't recovered. Four Nations was just ah. And you know what? I'm happy that Canada won. Go Canada. But I want my season back. And it is back, so I'm not gonna cry.
Thank you.
in 2013 and then in 2004. I've been to Sturgis. The reason I said 2013 is because I recently found this shirt and I don't fit in it anymore. My t-shirt quilt is going to be amazing.
It's going to be your life story in a quilt.
I'm telling you, yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, this shirt is so sick." And also I have this other shirt that like it doesn't fit me anymore. It was my favorite shirt. I am not that size anymore. I literally put it on my chair because I didn't want to cut it, but then part of me is like, I don't know, I still kind of don't want to cut it.
Yeah.
Because what happens when I'm a real old man and I like revert back to my original state?
You can put it in a blanket and then you can just burrito with it.
Because my pops, he was a stout man, but then when he got older, he reverted to his original programming, and he was skinny. He was like skinny. King's cakes are about to be a thing here.
That's
Mardi
right.
Gras. Oh, that's
Mhm.
right.
Tuesday.
Now I got to know what a king cake is because that's intriguing.
Okay. So a king cake has a baby, its little doll thing that is
It's an
in.
inch tall. It's so little.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
like
very little.
oh,
You
that's
hide
a
it inside the cake.
That's
Yeah.
a Christmas cake thing in the UK and all Celtic countries.
Yeah. Yeah.
But whoever finds it is like a big deal.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the baby Jesus.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Well, when I used to work in the restaurant business, whoever found the little baby Jesus had to throw a party. So you didn't want the baby
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow, that's some pressure. Maybe I don't want those people in my house.
Oh. So
I've thrown work parties. It's awkward.
yeah, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Just normal cake.
And it's usually really well decorated.
Yeah.
It's
And
the
the Mardi
best
Gras
king
colors.
cake. There's one bakery that does them. That's like the hallmark of the best king cakes. And no, I don't know the name, but my husband does.
I'm watching Doctor Who. It's not Desperate Housewives.
So it's a desperate house husband.
You know
Is that what Doctor Who is?
Housewives lost its luster for me because one day I got lost and I turned a corner and they were filming it, like not in my neighborhood but in my town.
Yeah.
So whenever I look like that particular, I don't know. That was a weird time in my life where that show was on. That was a very weird time in my life. I could make a quilt out of Sturgis shirts 50th anniversary. I have like honestly, there's a ton of biker shirts I have that I kind of want to make a quilt out of because I don't fit in them. Even like I have, except for the Australia shirt, every Harley shirt I own, I've actually been to the store in which I have the shirt. But I don't
Isn't
fit
this
in
year like a special year? Like, isn't this a memorial year or like a 5 or 0 number year?
I kind of stopped paying attention because they were bought out by a Japanese company years ago, and when they started making, it's weird to me when you can't hear a Harley half a mile away. People have electric Harleys here, and it's weird. And I'm not judging, like that may be the only thing you can drive in back, 10 years from now. But it's just weird to me. I need something that's gonna threaten my hearing 20 years from now.
It's called earplugs.
Mm-hmm.
I need something that's so loud. They're like, oh, that's William. He's about 15 minutes away, but I can hear him.
William's coming over the mountain. Here he comes.
He'll be coming around the mountain when he comes. Where am I overall? That's I'm attended a work party.
Get
One
out
of
the
times
banjo and the harmonica. Here we go.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Last time I attended a work party, one of the guys found out his wife was moving out to move in with an 18-year-old coworker. Killed the vibe.
Mm.
That actually, something like that in a weird way happened at a party. These two people who ended up moving to North Carolina found each other in my backyard.
Nice.
So it was always
It's a
awkward.
small world after all.
I've told Twin their story. They're crazy, but it's weird. And plus, you find out that one employee who drinks too much and can't handle it. Then you gotta I'm over it. I'm over parties like that.
I
Yeah.
ran into my brother's childhood best friend in Heathrow Airport.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was wild.
There was one time. Gosh, this was when I was with my ex-wife. We were in San Francisco, and I turned around and I asked this random person to take a picture of me. And I looked up, and you could even see in the picture, I'm like, it was a girl who sat behind me in like 8th grade science or something. And we both had that moment of, oh my gosh, I know who you are. But it was the most random thing ever. So I guess it is a small world after all. And thank you. That song is officially concreted
Hey,
in my
Andrea.
head.
Do you know what? That
Yeah.
needs to be my next short.
Harley's a crime against nature. Thank you. How's it going, Andrea? Hello. I'm telling you, like, if it doesn't threaten, like, I'm sorry. It's not my thing. And they're not as powerful.
If it's not rattling its bolts loose as it drives, it's not right.
Oh, if it's not falling apart, it's not a Harley.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you have to deal with the you have to have it tuned so that it and if it doesn't do that, it's not right.
What was that sound again, Shalom?
Yeah.
Well,
But
if you
like
got a blah, you got a problem, but if it's blah 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 blah, you're ready to go.
yeah, but like that the vibration of the blah 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 is what rattles the bolts loose.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're forever having to tighten them.
Absolutely.
And here she is
Absolutely.
changing her noises.
Okay, they're making electric Mustangs now.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
All cars look the same. I did it again the other day. I almost got in the wrong car in front of MMA because I drove the RAV4 to MMA, and this just happened yesterday. I literally walked up to the car and I just did a big circle around it till I walked up to my car. All cars look the same now.
Now you know why I have bumper stickers. If I don't see my bumper stickers, I don't get in it.
I understand 1,000%. And with my Flex, I really don't have that problem because I live around yuppies and people have moved on because everybody buys the same car. And
Come here, drive your Flex up here, and you will get lost figuring out where's your Flex, because there's going to be 5 others in the parking lot. No joke, 5 others.
Here it's Teslas. It is the weirdest thing. People, it is the creepiest thing. People own either a white, red, or black Tesla. They are everywhere.
Yeah. There's some blue ones around here too.
Oh, it's weird. And I'm not, you know what? To each their own. But Cybertrucks look like a bottle cap.
No.
I still think they look like my kindergartner drew them.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like that one episode where Homer Simpson's lost brother let him design a car.
Yeah. That but like crossed with the car from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
See, but DeLoreans are amazing, even though that car, let's be real, in the 80s, that car completely failed. The movie was the only thing that made it popular, and no one bought one.
Yep. It was sad. It was sad. It was a cool idea that just didn't go anywhere.
And the company literally went under after the movie because like their bubble burst. People liked the movie, but they didn't buy the car.
Mm.
It's you know why all this stuff is so fresh is because I've been watching all this 1970s and 1980s stuff. And they'll constantly talk about how DeLorean failed. And DeLorean actually became a punchline to a joke. Because that car was such a failure. Would you drive a Cybertruck though?
Mm-mm. I will be the first one. No.
Would you, Shalom?
I mean, I'll drive it before I walk.
Okay.
No, I say Cybertrucks are just a $100 to $1,000 joke that you played on yourself. You know,
I either see a kid driving it or like that like midlife crisis tough guy who wants to tell you he spent $100,000 on a car. I literally saw a guy get out of it at the bank. He had the 1970s shirt with the chain and the chest hair.
oh my god,
This happened last week. And we made eye
Disco
contact.
Stew. That's Disco Stew from The Simpsons.
Oh, we made eye contact because the bank is awkward already. I'm already at 10-2 at the bank because I go to the ATM like this. Like I look around my surroundings and everything. Cybertrucks look like a Roomba driving down the road.
It's sad. Tell me you have too much money without telling me you have too much money.
I saw somebody. There's a gentleman. I'm assuming gentleman because I didn't go up and meet him. But there was a guy loading stuff into his vehicle at Sam's Club. And I'm just going, why are you driving a Cybertruck and shopping at Sam's Club? Like, if you can afford a Cybertruck, why don't you just make the longer trip down to the bougie stores in Denver? Like,
I will tell you why. I will tell you exactly why. Because I was engaged to be married to a guy who made his first $1 million by 19 and in his 30s had many of them. Okay. Because they are cheap as fuck. And like, I mean, in order to get to be a person with that much money, you have to save your money. You know, you have to keep it and not spend it. And that man, I have never. He used to cut his envelopes for notepaper.
My pops had more money than most people I've ever known. We called him Cheap Charlie. He was the cheapest human being I've ever met in my entire life. We would always tell him if we gave him a penny, his cheeks were so tight he'd give us copper wire. I'm not kidding you that he was so cheap. When the man died, and I heard how much he said had in his bank account, I said curse words out loud because I was shocked. Like he played it to the tilt. He played it like perfectly. But you're right. Like he would always tell me like real money is invisible.
Yeah. So why is he driving a Cybertruck though? Just saying.
It's a midlife crisis thing. It's a recent divorce. He's looking for a trophy wife, and he thinks that will impress one.
Oh.
You know, that reminds me of this short I saw of Anthony Kiedis. I cried. Anthony Kiedis was at a show. And this is freaky. Phoenix actually had the first crashes, too, of the automated taxis and vehicles. They were the test city. Anthony Kiedis, you know, the Red Hot Chili Peppers were recently playing a concert. And Anthony Kiedis has this short black hair now with a black mustache. He looks like a 1970s porn star. Okay. And they're rocking out, they're having a good old time. It's the Peppers. And they get this shot of this young lady. And during the song, Anthony Kiedis is creeping over to her. She literally closes her eyes to avoid him. Because he still thinks of himself as like, when back, 20 years ago, he could get any woman he wants. Now
he's a bit Iggy Pop, isn't he?
Sweaty grandpa. Iggy Pop was sweaty grandpa too.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it made me laugh and cry in the same sense. And she did everything. Like, she was rocking out, and then she literally closed her eyes when he walked up to her, and he walked away shaking his head. But she turned you down, girl. Like, she turned you down. Oh, I died.
Shot down in front of the whole world.
I spent like 5 minutes going through the comments. So the video kept on playing because I was like, oh, I have to read what other people think. Oh, it was hilarious. I'm a major opinion. There's nothing wrong with saving money. There's nothing wrong with it at all. In no way, shape, or form am I dogging it. It's just, it's crazy when you find out how much. My pops acted like he was broke all the time. I know a guy that was worth several million. He owned a very small Catarans, drove this ugly orange Chevy truck. Absolutely, most never had a clue to. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like,
okay,
it's better when you don't show off.
You were saying that it was all an act, that he was broke, like he was acting like he was broke. I'll say it for the rest of us in the crowd. It's not an act.
He grew up like Depression era too.
Oh yeah.
So he was like, and because he was so much older. I went through this with my grandparents and my parents. They didn't understand that $20 in 1950 was like $1 million. $20 in 1975. But in 1995, $20 wouldn't even get me down the street.
Yeah. They give you $20 and expect you to be able to live for 3 weeks. Yeah.
And think it's a lot of money. And even back then it wasn't. That's the only thing I ever, but I went and got a job. I was old school. There are advantages and disadvantages to having senior parents.
Mm-hmm. I am not looking to become a senior parent. We're good.
I'm older. I'm a year older than when the age my pops was. There's no way I could have a kid right now.
Yeah.
Because I know exactly how old I would be. I would be retired by the time they were in high school.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I sit there and, my niece and nephew. My nephew is older than me, and I think she's older than him. And they just had a kid, like, within the last 2 years, 3 years.
Wow.
Like, they've got two that are not yet in kindergarten. Let's put it that way. And I'm just like, no, I'm good. I'm not joining this crowd. It is not happening.
I'm not even saying this. I absolutely adored my father. He was my hero. But it wasn't until I got older. Because when I was younger, I was raised by my brother and sister. Because my parents were so much older. They were
retired.
So there's advantages and disadvantages. And matter of fact, when everyone moved out, when I was like 13 or 14, we didn't know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because my parents really, they were there, but like we really hadn't hung out.
That's a whole different culture.
Just what is that called that you're holding? Can we see it, please?
Yeah, I can get it.
Oh,
so tempting.
I know which one that is.
Oh, you're gonna make me big.
Ooh,
it's so pretty.
It's from Missouri Star. The fabric, I don't know, but
I love the
Dear
binding.
Missouri, that is not a star.
But I made this without a pattern. This is my first official quilt. Second official quilt.
What?
Sorry, my second one.
It's really beautiful.
That's
So.
awesome.
Okay.
I love it. I love the binding.
I'm gonna get a timer to see how long you can go.
But
like
my
when you
face
fall-
wasn't in it, so I was okay.
It's like when you fall off the rodeo horse and see how long you can go.
Well, I'm not
8
riding
points.
for those.
8.6 seconds.
The world record is like 12, 14, 15. So
I would last 3.
So
Oh yeah, I read
seconds
it.
would
This,
be a
like Missouri Star maybe 8 years ago. You might find it in the archives. But I think it's called the Dash or Sashing Quilt or something like that. Thanks. Thanks.
Man, we
Ellen.
had a journey tonight. I told the truth about my weight gain. I wanted to cry this morning when I put on my tweed suit and it doesn't fit anymore. I can't even lie to myself or to anybody.
Today is a day for crying. We're good. I was crying too. We're good. We survived the crying.
I literally did not post my short because I was like, I look like a stuffed quail. I look like I got poured into my suit. It looks like spandex tweed.
What did you wear for a shirt underneath?
Well, it was so busy. I just wore a black shirt underneath because I had, and that's another thing. I had on my full tweed suit plus a cape, and it was like 79 at like 11 o'clock this morning. So within 4 minutes, I was in full sweat.
Sweat mode, yeah.
And the white cowboy hat, I can't wear anything underneath. And so it's just pure buckram. And buckram is just a really hard surface what they make hats with. And so I'm sweating.
Crazy. Yeah.
I'm just sweating.
I knew exactly when you said buckram. I was like, oh, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Oh, and that's why I had this like midlife crisis mode of like, I'm not gonna hang this summer. Like, I'm gonna have to move. I don't know what's like. I had this moment of like, so between being chubby, the heat, and my kid hiding laundry, I quit my short today.
You've just described pregnancy.
Oh, he can relate to us.
Craig is not getting. Craig is losing weight with no reason and still losing weight.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm okay with it. I just need to make another suit. So, like I said, when I snap and come with like 200 yards of tweed, we know what I'll be doing. Spandex tweed, that would be a wild print. It was tight. It was tight, Ollie. It looked like someone sprayed it on me. I was so disappointed. Oh, but it's only happened in the past, like, I don't know. It had to have, because I had it on a couple months ago.
Yeah.
When I made the cape, I put on the suit completely in it.
You did.
In the front, you know.
That one?
It
won't be tonight.
You know what though? Like I constantly talk about this. I am okay with my weight gain. It's a part of life. And if I really wanted to do something about it, I'll work out. I literally have a gym in my backyard.
Yeah.
Dude, you look good. Like
I
I don't know what you're worried about, like or why. I mean, you must have been skinny.
I was 160 to 170 pounds up until I was 40.
That's no. See, I like you better now.
And then I felt I was stick skinny up until I was 40, and then I gained 50 pounds during COVID. My brother says I filled out.
No, but that's exactly it. Like I don't think you don't look like you gained weight. You look like you filled out. It's a different thing, and I think you're really fortunate, and you like genuinely from sister to brother. I think you look dang good.
Thank you. It's because I was Mick Jagger for 40 years.
Oh, yeah. See, that's no
I was
thanks.
rooster skinny.
No.
That's really behind all of it is the fact that I was rail thin. And then one day I woke up and I'm like, my pants do not fit. I wore the same pant size for over 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. When you stop growing taller. I know I hate people like that.
That's why like my pant collection is actually like I'll probably never get rid of it because there's pants in there that have stories.
Mhm.
If they go, there's some
Well-
pants I go on the witness. If it goes on the witness stand, I might end up on probation.
See, there you go. So you make a quilt, right? That is your t-shirts on the front and your jeans on the back, and it's reversible. So depending on your mood, you can tell your pants stories to yourself or your t-shirt stories.
Well, my t-shirts are getting a second life because my son is thin. He's going through exactly what I went through. He's balding and he's thin. Welcome to the world, kid. Welcome to the bloodline.
Yeah, you only get
Yeah.
one blessing, right? Only one blessing at a time.
Yeah.
Oh my! It's even the women go bald in my family. At least on my mom's side.
Well, that's where you get your hair genes from, is your mom's side.
Absolutely.
That's just the genetic formula.
Oh,
Yeah, I was 100, and I would tell people I was 180. I was like 165, 170 pounds.
Soaking wet.
Well, it's because I never gained weight. Everybody asks me all the time, "Are you sick?" And it doesn't matter if you're thin or if you're large. People will make rude comments to you.
yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it made me self-conscious because I wasn't. I was just rail skinny. And before I like when I lived in LA, I walked everywhere. When I lived in Portland, I didn't have a car.
Oh my god. Okay, I just had this memory. So, my kid's dad shaved his head from a really early age because his hair started coming out at like 16 or so. And he told me that one time, and he was another one of you horrible humans who stopped, changing their pant size when they stopped growing. So he'd been wearing the same size pants since he was like, 15 or whatever. And but some woman came up to him with his and touched his bald head and said, "Sorry about the chemo."
That's another thing. People would accuse me of like all dialysis, all kinds of stuff.
Mm.
Human beings are horrible. And sometimes they're trying to be polite, but they don't realize how rude they're being. I remember when I broke my ankle, which ended my gym addiction, and I lost weight because I wasn't working out. Almost had a panic attack when weight had gone down from 200 pounds to I'm telling you.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's totally unfair. Completely.
I will give you some.
Completely unfair. Yeah. Yeah, I tell women that, I will donate boobs, if they need some, because I've got more than my share. I'm tired of them.
I think a lot of it is when you're one way for a long time and your body is forever changing. Even if people look like it's not, it is.
Oh yeah.
So it's that freaky moment with certainty. You're not going back. I know I'm not going back from this one.
I'm just waiting for Zodi to need the reading glasses. He's coming to that age, that magical 42.
A magical 40 what?
42.
Oh, interesting.
It's the answer to life in the universe.
Zodi, we're all around the same age.
I gave away his secret.
No, it's okay. We all kind of would have.
We're all the same age, so.
We would.
Well, I'm not.
I'm a little bit.
Okay.
I'm a little bit older, but we all would have went to high school together. The four of us: Zodiac, Twin, and Tammy.
Yeah, I would have been the senior.
Yeah.
Everybody else would have been below me.
William and I probably would have ended up in the same class just based off of birth birthdays.
No, I would have been
Well,
like, I need to get help back.
or maybe you and William would have been in the same class, and I would have been the class below.
I usually
Y'all
was.
would have been seniors. I'd be
No,
junior.
he would have been below me because of his birthday year.
I'm usually a year younger or older than everyone because I have a winter birthday.
Yeah.
But with mine being in October, it pushes me back.
You guys
Okay,
you
so I
guys
guess
would've
we would have
been
all. Yeah, so we would have all been different grades. You'd been senior, he'd been junior, I'd been sophomore.
Yeah.
Worst years ever.
And I'm in
Well,
university.
the worst years ever is middle school. Don't even
For-
get me.
That was
Mm.
middle school was awful for me too.
Middle school was not great, but high school was worse.
So back in the day, and I laugh because it kind of came back. People would cut lines in their eyebrows.
Yeah.
I took a big razor and shaved off half my eyebrow, trying to put a line in my eyebrow.
Maybe that's what the kid was doing at school. One of our guys shaved his entire eyebrows off.
Oh my gosh. I'll never forget my mom was like, looks like you're going to school, Groucho. And she made me go to school. In my junior high, you were not allowed to wear hats. Oh yeah.
We had a kid that shaved off both of his eyebrows. And apparently he didn't realize that it was going to take some time to grow back.
Mm.
I have no idea what happened. I just know he came to school with no eyebrows.
Yeah.
That was the going story.
Shalom, I know exactly that one. The woman went with the extra crazy. I knew someone that had their eyebrows tattooed on, and
Mhm.
when she turned 60, she started looking angry all the time
Oh.
because her body was moving, but her tattoo wasn't. So her eyebrows started sagging.
See, that's why you don't get your face tattooed.
And she was from a certain era where many women got their eyebrows tattooed on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's the lip liner tattoo that really
Oh yeah.
nope.
Same, Zodi. Same. When I finally get that time machine, I will avoid that whole era.
You need to go to upstate New York and come get me. And
I
then we'll
won't
go
even.
get Tammy. We'll go get Shalom. And we'll go hang out.
I mean, and I'll be old enough to buy the booze.
You better come get me.
I quit
I'm not being left
drinking
behind.
when I was 21. I quit drinking. That's how much I drank in my teenage years. Because it wasn't fun when I didn't have to the mystery was gone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Junior and senior high, I took library and not study hall. The books were much better friends. Hey, that's better. Like, man, it was terrible. Hey, Ed. Oh, excuse me. Speaking of, saw a woman with brow tattoos. Look like a leg.
Yeah, if it's not done right, it can look really bad.
Oh, that's gold. Oh, that's gold.
That's one of those you don't pay the person at the corner of the street to do it.
The
That's the
problem
one that
is
you go to the one with like the 50 million reviews.
here where I live, there's a tattoo shop on every corner.
Mhm.
If you go into the city, like if you go into anywhere in the Valley, LA, there are tattoo shops everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. No, they got rid of that one. There used to be one in my town by the VA, but they got rid of it. I had to revise the map in my head. Everything's been so gentrified. I had to remember if it was still there.
Mm.
Tattoo shops aren't part of the city's plan, so they got rid of all the seedy stuff.
Understandable.
They took and it wasn't the worst part of my town. It was just an old railroad site, so it was ran down 200 years ago. And
Yeah, go ahead.
They just revitalized it, and it's dumb. Because now it's a bunch of fancy restaurants that most people can't afford to go to.
You know, I have made 4 yo-yos during this stream. Pretty proud of myself at this point.
Yay.
That's amazing.
I just have to
That's
make sure the fairies don't get them. I have to put them in a jar or
No
something.
fairies.
I swear Jess thought I was crazy when I started talking about
Like she goes, fairies. I'm like, and then I had to read. I'm like, oh yes, Scotland fairies. Yes, they do that. I
Yeah,
need
exactly.
to go back to my history.
I was watching Scotland something. That reminds me of something that I saw earlier today. And now it's going to bug me as to what it was. It was Scotland something.
It wasn't a Highland cow.
No, it was on
Oh,
Highland Cow.
Island
I would have sent it to you. Would have sent it to you. Now it's so gonna bug me. What was
I am
Scotland?
so subscribed on Facebook. I just had to do it, even though I don't really get on Facebook. I was just like, I gotta see a Highland cow. Oh, so when they have them for adoption, I'm like, hey,
Yep.
someday.
Yeah, except that the adoption price is like several $1,000s.
Totally is.
Oh, I know what it is now. Okay, we're good.
Sorry
Had
to
to-
anyone with headphones. I apologize for my ironing board ASMR.
All this
It wasn't bad.
Oh, Ollie
noise.
said the wee fairies.
The wee fairies.
Oh, I love the way you
Hi.
say that. Say it again.
There can be only one.
Oh, it was so good. I loved it.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to go back and play it and find it. Do I have permission to use you as a short too?
There can only be one.
No. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
He's a funny one,
So-
that boy.
See, look at William Zodiac's on my team.
Okay.
Good. We have another person to walk Lucy May. Good. Keep recruiting.
Y'all
That
were
means
just
you have to
talking.
live near us.
Y'all were just
He
talking
wants to do
about
that.
about drinking age and all of that, right?
Mhm.
And I just happened to pull Facebook up. Somebody is asking. So legal drinking age is 21.
Hmm.
But apparently your license expires on your 21st birthday. So you have to go get a new one. So if your license expires on your 21st birthday and you go into a bar, they can't serve you alcohol on your 21st birthday because your license expired that day.
That's why you need to be proactive and get it before then.
And
But you can't.
it only
Miami won't
expires
let
on your
you.
21st birthday if you like for here anyway. It expires after 5 years. So
Same
if you
here.
got it on your 16th birthday, then yeah, it'll expire on your 21st as well.
No, I think they said it automatically expires on your 21st because
Oh.
then some places, I don't know if Wyoming does it. I haven't seen anybody younger than 21 to ask them. But so my license is horizontal because I'm over 21, but under 21 is going to have a vertical license.
Yeah, they
So
do
it
that
automatically,
too.
yeah, so they rotate it. No, I'm
Yeah.
not big on drinking, but I mean, I do drink, but I'm not big on drinking. It was a crazy question. Because somebody was asking, like, well, how can this person that's about to turn 21, how can they go to a bar and drink on their 21st birthday if they can't be served alcohol because their license expired that day?
But I mean, I personally have never let my license expire. I always go in before
Yeah.
that happens because I don't want to be in a position to having to
Yeah,
deal
because
with
there'll
an
be an
expired
issue
license.
date, and then it'll be 5 years from your birthday. Like,
Yeah.
I think North Carolina is 7 years.
I always had my
Yeah.
Arizona license, so I never had to deal with any of this. But in California,
didn't
it's
either.
5 years.
Oh, you and
I
your
didn't either.
100 years license.
It's magic.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're saying that you can't go in the day before your 21st birthday and renew. You have to wait until your 21st birthday. So,
weird. Where
so
was it?
basically, you're in Wyoming.
Weird. Okay.
So, but what happens if you turn 21 on a Saturday or Sunday when TNB is closed?
you just don't go to the bar. You do it at home. You have
Yeah.
somebody to do it for you.
Then again,
Well,
I've always had a passport as well as a driver's license.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Passports.
that might work too.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy question. I have never dealt with that, so I didn't even know.
Some places prefer a passport.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I always have my passport when I'm traveling with me. That's what I use for identification.
I do not currently have a passport.
The last time I got carded, the guy looked at my he looked at my license. I was all happy because I'm 40. And he looks at it and he's like, "Oh, sorry, ma'am."
Mine
I don't
expires.
really like my driver's license, so I have
Mine
to use the passport.
expires. Mine expires 2047.
2047. Got it.
Wow, that'll be an interesting photo update, won't it?
I'm going to be renewing mine a few times before you get there. Just saying.
I got grandfathered in because, like Rita said, they got rid of that law, but everybody who had the old school license, they honored it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of states that used to be like that because they didn't want you coming back, but now they want you to come and get your picture taken every 10 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Recheck your eyes, update your weight.
Yet, Zodi. That's a yet.
I miss Phoenix in February. It's like here. It's like 89, 71 one day. They have crazy weather. The sad thing is, where I live in Phoenix, we're slowly starting to get the exact same weather. And during the summer, it's like 110. I don't know if it was 2 Augusts ago, we had a 9-day period where every day it was over 105.
Gross.
Oh.
Every day.
Gross.
And at night, it would be like in Arizona, and Vegas, it'll be 11 o'clock at night and it's 89 degrees outside.
No, I'm good.
That's 890 degrees in Shablam temperature.
And it's like the middle of the night and you're sweating like the middle of the day.
No.
So Shalom, I know when you'll come to the United States when it's cold.
Oh yeah, that is the only time. Like, I mean, I've told Zodi 100 times. Like, November is pretty much it for me.
I will tell you, there was one time I was in Vegas in January and it was negative 17.
Are you serious?
Whoa.
At night or
Yeah.
during the day?
At night.
Oh wow.
It was like some like cold. I wasn't ready for it. No one was ready for it. Not even the clothes I brought were, But there's this thing called alcohol that aided me in my journey throughout that. And I was there for a week. It was that entire week. Gosh, that was a long time ago. That was like 16 years ago. I'm not a true adult. Never had a passport. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, don't worry. We'll fix that.
George Bush is one of the reasons I got one, because we used to go to Vancouver Island all the time. And then he passed the law where you had to have a passport to leave the country.
Yeah.
But we all just went and got passport.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, Canada at that time, Canada didn't require you to have a passport to get in.
Yep.
But you required a passport to get home.
If you had an ID, it was like Mexico, because it was the same on the U.S. border and the Canadian border for Mexico and Canada. If you had an American ID, they'd let you go both ways. No, well, it was questions asked, but not as many.
Yeah, that's how I went to Mexico when I was a teenager. I just had to have a license.
Yeah, when this winter has been really, everybody knows how unusually cold it's been, and I always look up what temperature it is at where Zodi lives every day, and it gave me a lot of a few dances of superiority, because it does get cold here when like freakish weather is when it gets cold here, but it was colder for longer, but then it just it's because Texas is drunk all the time, and
It's
It just
because
has weird weather, and then you
and
wake up the next day and it's 80 degrees again.
okay, Texas has its own power grid. They're on their own planet. You can literally look at a map of the United States of America. The East Coast and West Coast aren't necessarily connected, but they're on these mega power grids where every state is connected except for Texas.
Yeah.
Every state in the United States of America is connected, and then literally there is an outline of the state of Texas because they have their own power grid.
The state of California is in huge debt to the province of BC for the power that we sell. Like it's
We take it
I
from
can't
everyone.
believe how much power we sell in California.
We take it from everyone. We take it from Nevada. Arizona has a nuclear power plant outside of the city. We take it from them too. It's a
We also
real
take water.
It's a real Simpson style nuclear power. It looks like where Homer Simpson works when you drive by it. Has the stacks and everything.
Mm.
Good times.
Are you talking about the Nexus card, Andrea?
It's
Because I know that a lot of people have those here.
80 outside. See, Arizona's no joke.
It's 39 degrees here right now.
All right, hang on.
That's the one thing
Go ahead, beat me.
that's the one thing I miss about
Yeah.
Arizona. In Michigan now you can get an enhanced ID will let you get into Canada without a passport.
Yeah, I have an enhanced ID too.
There's they have a thing called a Nexus card, but that is generally used at airports or just to get you through customs faster. It's because you're like a frequent flyer, or you frequently cross the border, so you get this. You can apply for these cards so that you can go through the fast line at customs.
Am I crazy because I refuse to get a real ID? I already have a passport.
No, I think you'll be fine.
It wouldn't hurt.
I think you automatically get one when you renew.
But he doesn't need to renew. You don't automatically get it. You have to verify a lot of stuff.
I had a California ID for a long time because it would freak people out that I had an Arizona license. So at the same time I had a California ID, I had my Arizona license.
You're not allowed to have a license from another province here for more than 3 months.
Same here.
Oh, okay.
Same.
Oh, but you just
did.
Who's gonna check? I guess
no one ever did.
Okay, Jess. 34 here feels like 11.
There you go.
Yikes.
Gross.
35 in Michigan.
Yep, no, it's comfortable.
47
Alexa,
here.
What's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 63 degrees.
It's 63 degrees Fahrenheit.
I love 63. 63 is beautiful.
It's warmed up, actually. It was 57 last night.
What?
Well, I mean, you were almost at 100 today, so why not, right?
It's the weather was thrown on us though, because 3 days ago it was in the 50s, and then it's been it was 70 something, then 80, and then almost 90, and then it's gonna rain this weekend.
Yeah, welcome to North Carolina weather. We have winter, spring, fall, and summer all in the same week.
North Carolina is drunk too. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. We don't
We're
know.
telling on yourself.
Yeah, we're gonna be up in the 50s, and then Monday it's gonna drop again.
You know, that's one of those things. Like, I got pulled over, and they completely went through my wallet. No one said a word to me. I'm a dual citizen.
Are you?
No, it's impossible. You can, as far as states go, in the state of California, if you are in the state of California for more than 3 weeks, you are considered a resident.
Okay. I know that Canada will allow dual citizenship between Canada and the US, but I was pretty sure that the US didn't allow dual citizenship Like,
No, we do not.
it's the other way around.
The only reason that no one ever gave me a hard time is because it was real information. So if I had fake IDs, that's a federal crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's like if you have a couple IDs with your name on it, they're just like, have a good day, because it's your real information.
Hmm.
The snow was melting again here. March is almost here. Then comes the day and days of no rain, 100 plus weather, and then hotter weather, and then melting hot weather. Absolutely. That's what I have to look forward to.
Mm.
Surface of the sun.
Yeah, but at least you don't have the humidity. Like we would have that plus humidity.
I'm telling you, I had a dream of living in Alaska. It was actually a life quest, and I went there, and I knew I wouldn't survive. So
Yeah.
I am built for the desert. Oh, you were anywhere near the? Is that in escarpment?
Escarpment. It's
Escarpment.
called. Yeah.
I'll move my
So
glasses
on
off.
the escarpment, they have well, but they have these trees that are like 1,500 years old. They
Oh,
are
wow.
the tiniest little oak trees. They're a type of white oak that is somewhat related to the oak that we have indigenous here.
Yeah.
That are like super protected because they're so rare. But they have these, yeah, they're gnarled, and I just want them to go steal a branch for me and send it to me.
Hi,
Ollie
Christina.
doesn't
Good
steal stuff.
morning, Christina. Good morning.
Ollie plays by the rules.
I live
Ollie?
near somewhere where we have massive poppy fields. I mean, like endless acres. It is illegal to pick a single poppy plant. It's
Like the California poppy?
yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I live in a place where we have Joshua trees, and the
Yeah.
only other place on earth is Israel. So
Right.
Israel and the Mojave Desert, it is illegal. If you get caught with a Joshua tree, they will put you in jail like you hit somebody with your car.
Yeah, you won't be in the jail, you'll be under the jail.
Do not, and like if don't cut down a Joshua tree, just don't.
No,
No.
no,
Don't
there'd
even
be
take
no point. Like, what would be the reason for doing it?
People do
take
it
them
just because they want one.
and they take them to where they live or their house or something.
And it won't grow there.
Unless you live in extremely dry, it has to be real life desert, like was a seafloor a million years ago kind of desert.
Yeah.
But that's specific. Like, it requires like the mineral content and the right pH level, and there's a reason why those things don't grow in like other places.
Anywhere else in the
And
world.
there
Yeah.
and there's a reason why we wouldn't expect you to be the one to steal them, Shalom.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't steal one of those for sure.
No,
Would-
she's
no,
trying to get Ollie to do it.
but no, but I just want a piece. I don't want a whole tree. I want it. It's not harmful to take a piece of a branch. I just want a piece of a branch.
We're all part of the same desert, Rita. Borders have no meaning in the context of this one, because we all live in the same desert.
William, have you ever seen a tupelo tree?
Maybe. What does
Is
it
it
look
named
like?
after Mississippi?
I don't know that it's named after it. I think maybe part of Mississippi got named after the tupelo tree, but
You know what's really funny? When I think of Joshua trees, now that I think about it, there are places in Arizona, because there was someone I know that I lived in this one place where you could literally walk out and it was just real desert. I mean, like endless desert. And those things were everywhere. Cough, cough. Chandler, Arizona, before they tore it down. I lived near Chandler before it turned into what it is now. It's a major city now. But when I lived there, it was just they was just literally plotted out streets in the desert.
Mm.
I missed that. I used to get in my car and get lost. Pre GPS, pre all of that. There was one time when I lived in Arizona, I was just driving, and I found a skate park out in the middle of the desert, and I had my skateboard with me. It was a strange experience. They grow in the desert. These Joshua trees are pokey. They are. They are.
I sent you video, or not video, picture
Oh, I have my
of
volume down.
it's not the only style that I've seen them in.
Oh, yeah, I see these a lot by the ocean.
Oh,
They
not
usually
like
grow in like swampland though.
Like,
more up
yeah.
north. I've never seen them down here.
No, these look a lot like something I see in South Carolina.
This is like something you'd see in like in Oregon in the swampy areas.
Yeah.
Mm,
These are usually in the swamps.
I lived in that
You have to have
area.
still water.
Sorry, Rita. I lived in that area before it was built up. That's where I was traumatized with the ostrich festival. That's where I was traumatized. I just want to rescue all ostriches now. Oh, we have murderous mesquite trees here. Thorns on those things are like daggers. I lived in Chandler, and it's large but still small. I did not like it there at all. I used to live in Mesa on Alma School in Guadalupe a million years ago.
mm.
And back then it was just endless fields.
Okay, the Tupelo trees, there's 3 varieties. So there is one that could potentially be the one that you're familiar with, Jess.
Okay.
Black Tupelo.
I don't know. Because it's just, yeah, I don't. There's a place around Myrtle Beach, and it separates North and South Myrtle, and they just made it like a natural area.
Huh?
It's like a national park kind of area, and those trees grow. They look like just ugly looking trees like that grow there. I
It
don't know.
reminds me of the swamp, like something you'd see in
Yeah.
Louisiana.
You typically see them in the swampy areas. I love walking through the parks that have like Tupelo trees, but they always have to have like the wooden bridges or something like that going through
Yeah.
the park because otherwise you're trudging through swamp.
Oh, mesquite trees are so dangerous. We lived in Arizona in Apache Junction in Tucson. Trimming those trees are dangerous. Do you know what a plant I absolutely, utter and completely have disdain for is we call it a coyote bush, but everyone
Okay.
knows it as a tumbleweed.
I saw a video of somebody who was
Never
so
physically seen
shocked
in
that
life.
They
the
get
tumbleweed
it.
was an actual plant.
When you run one over, it gets in every orifice. It gets under your engine. You open
Yeah,
your
it
engine and
does.
there's a tumbleweed in your car. Like, hello.
Now the fun thing is to be driving behind someone else who keeps running over them. And so after they run over one or hit one or whatever, out behind their vehicle, you see this cloud of all these little pieces of parts.
Awful just those things terrorize the road where I live. We actually we chop them down, but they're so well rooted, it's not
Mhm.
even funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they drop their seeds as soon as they dry, so they're always propagating.
Joshua trees are funny looking. A few years ago, my son took me to see them while visiting him in San Diego. I'm pro desert because I'm from the desert. A lot of people would look at things that I look at and they're like, this is just endlessness and nothingness. But
Yeah.
I love the desert. They make jewelry out of tumbleweeds. I actually made a carving. I can't reach it because it's buried in here, but I made a carving of a tumbleweed root long time ago.
They have them all the way up through Colorado. I think there's parts of Wyoming that have tumbleweeds as well. I'm quite sure that we do.
Wow. I found out tumbleweed aren't native to North America. It's a Russian sage. It is everywhere here.
There's actually more than one variety of plant that are considered tumbleweeds. So there's one that isn't, but there's a couple that are. So it's crazy.
That's really interesting. That is really interesting. Is that like rabbits in Australia?
I guess. Yes, I started looking it up because I'd never seen tumbleweeds before. The other thing that I'd never seen, and it took us a really long time because they would never route us far enough south, was to drive across the desert and see a cactus that actually looks like the cactus in commercial or in cartoons, like the tall cactus with the two arms,
we
sticking
have
up.
those here. We have those here.
Saguaro
Well,
cactus. Those are pretty.
yeah, I'd never seen one out in the wild anywhere. And it took us driving, I think it was I-10 maybe, through like Arizona for us to finally see them. And I was just like gawking at them. My husband's like, "What?" I'm like, they're so pretty.
I have a cactus in my backyard that a hippie friend, as a parting gift at a party, they gave everybody a baby cactus. And I called it Little D. Little D, I'm not kidding you, is like this big now.
Oh,
And it got so big I couldn't keep it. I had it in my nook, but he got so big he had to go outside. And Little D is thriving outside. That's my cactus. My cactus grew in like 10 years, 11 years. And they would come over and they're like, you kept that cactus? I truly think the test of an adult is having luggage
A houseplant.
and houseplants.
Well, I can cross both of those off my list. Thank you.
I pride myself on it, like, because I used to travel. I had a bunch of I had an old soccer bag. I had like an old duffel bag, just shameful luggage. And I grew up and got real luggage with wheels and could get beat up by the TSA people.
here we go
There's
traveling
something
around the world. Let's do it.
There is something to be said for having luggage.
Can we start the world tour?
Isn't there?
I'm ready with my luggage and my house plant under one arm and my luggage. I'm ready to go.
Where are we going first?
I want to go somewhere I haven't been, somewhere far. We can go to Australia so I can finally sing that song. Come from a land down under.
So
now he needs to get his passport, guys. Y'all
I have a
gotten him-
passport.
Gotten him around to it.
I
Oh, that's
don't.
right.
I wouldn't. I don't know. Like Australia is so far away. It takes the flight from it's like 9 hours to Hong Kong and then 14 hours to Australia.
From
And
LAX.
You can't. You have to go for at least 2 weeks.
For LAX, a straight shot from LAX is 17 hours.
I hate LAX.
I look it up all the time. All the time. Years ago, I almost moved to Australia. I even applied to live there. They still ask me to live there. They still send me like, "Hey, do you want to live in Australia?"
Yeah, they're in the same place as us. We don't have enough immigration, so we're asking for more immigrants.
But and it's not even a jab. I don't think. I'm glad I didn't move there because of the cultural differences. It's just like I said last week, I am an Anglophile. I love the UK. I don't think I could live there. I'm a loud, brash American, and I accept my place in life. I can appreciate everybody.
You can be loud and brash in Australia, let me tell you.
No, that
Totally
is true.
can.
That is true. That is true. I'm not saying
Totally
that. Man, we have gone around Jupiter twice, done backflips this
Alrighty.
evening. No, I know. Twinny McTwin is trying to go to bed early, so I'm trying to help. Even though you're not going to, I'm here to help you.
I gave you a time. That's a starting point.
Oh, we're almost there. Cactuses are like turtles and like parakeets. They live a very long time.
There's a good thing about me not having to be on camera because you cannot see how many times I have had complete resting bitch face tonight.
Sometimes I feel like I should take myself off because I'm not talking. But yeah.
Oh, you're just You're fine. You're overthinking
Your
it.
facial expressions are doing your talking for you.
A long time ago,
Yep,
I saw a
exactly.
documentary about a man who lived in Arizona. He made millions from picking up meteorites.
Hmm.
Millions.
Yeah, they're worth a lot of money.
Because they love flying in the middle of the Arizona and just plopping in the middle of the desert. And I kind of want to go dig in the desert for all kinds of stuff. I actually have a list of all the stuff that makes money because it came from outer space.
I can just totally see you with a metal detector. Just
I own one.
do you? Okay,
Just one.
right.
I have a hand wand and the real arm
Uh-huh.
wand.
Yeah.
So I have two technically, but my little one, that's more to find a weapon and less to find.
But it also those little hand ones also can tell you what kind of material you're finding. They have a little code system on
It
them.
does. It has different beeps depending on what it is.
I love that.
And if in whatever it has a long beep for firearms. And it works. All the time I'm like, I'll put on something else. I'm like, why is it a different beep?
Mm.
I will be back at it on Saturday. I had to think about what day of the week it is. But seriously, I want to thank everybody who comes and hangs out. You guys are absolutely amazing. We've been going full rock star lately, like full 3 hours. And I thank everybody who hangs out with us, who watches this in the replay, because you guys make this channel what it is. And I thank you. Seriously, thank you, Shalom, for hanging out. Tammy,
My pleasure.
Twinny
Thank
McTwin
you.
Twin, as always. We do need a twin counter. I want to get a twin counter. I mean, how many times I say Twinny McTwin Twin? But seriously, everybody who's still here in the chat, thank you so much. We will be back at it on Saturday. And anyone who ever wants to join, just let me know. I'm here. So I'll see everybody on Saturday. I hope you guys have a great week. I'm working on a million things right now. Will I finish? I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll hope for the best. But seriously, thank you for watching my channel. I will see everybody next time. And like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.